Yeah. Although I looked ahead and, it's like an analogy for life.
Yeah.
It's going to be rainy and 70s this weekend, which is Dave weather. And then a week for like next Friday's 98 degrees. So summer just won't stop summering.
No, I mean, it's August is always hot too.
Yep.
It's usually not till later in September you start to get the good chill.
Well, I mean, I've been doing this so many years with Dave, and I don't know how many times I've heard him say, like, September, that can be a summer month. And I'm like, shut up. Just stop talking.
When is he going to learn? That's not what we want to hear.
I know. Just
we don't want to hear
feed us what we want.
Just say it's going to be 78 degrees.
You know what
but then that's just going to upset you when it doesn't happen.
But I'll be happy in the moment.
Yeah, I don't think, as much as I love Dave's seasonal forecast, I know he works his ass off. I don't think I've ever been in the middle of a season and going, man, Dave really boinked this one. You know? Like, he can tell us anything.
Well, also,
just make us happy.
He does nail it, though. He does do a good job with the seasonal ones because I'm always looking to get Dave. Right?
Sure, we all are.
We all are. But I...
got a little too good.
Yeah. But up until this point, it has been a pretty good summer in terms of, miserable baking heat. And that's kind of what he told us, is that it was going to be, at least at the beginning, kind of a milder summer.
Yeah, I was just talking to Beth, the news director. She and her family went on an Alaskan cruise. And, I lived there for a while, so we'd have lots to talk about. And it was just bringing it all back. And she was so impressed, and her family was so impressed. And it's different, I think. Like, if you go to Disney World and you have a great time and you come back to your real life, it's not that big of a change. But, like, when I go to the mountains in Colorado, or if you go to Alaska and you really get out there and then you come back to this, there's really a moment of like, so that's what it used to be like for all of us.
Yeah.
And then some genius made up the 9-to-5 and mortgages. And I mean, I like the penicillin, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure we have it better.
Yeah. I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
You got to think.
Although I was having some barbecue chips last night, and I thought to myself, I could have been born at any point during the last 200,000 years as a human, but I happened to be born during the era of the barbecue chip.
Yum.
That's pretty good.
That's good zone time
It's good zone time.
Those Old Vienna, the same kind of people that make the Red Hot Riplets, they have like a barbecue chip. Oof. Delice.
Barbecue chips were different. So when I was a kid, barbecue chips, at least in St. Louis, were the Ozark brand with the hillbilly on the front, with the two bags of chips, which were about a third full, and the rest was just air. But that was a barbecue chip. I still, when I do my fancy barbecuing, I'll use like expensive sauces. But like when I make pork steaks, it's Malls. It's back to the beginning. Was it barbecue a big deal in Michigan at all?
Like when I was a kid, nothing. Barbecue wasn't like when you think of like the way we think of smoking. Pulled pork, like that wasn't a big
Guys
thing.
weren't out doing that on the weekends.
Grilling was always a big thing.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a Detroit style of barbecue, or am I thinking of something else?
Probably pizza.
Yeah, there's a Detroit style
Yeah,
pizza.
maybe I'm thinking of pizza.
I don't recall it.
Which I've never had.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
I need to get it sometime.
Yeah, there's some good ones that are even available at the store in the frozen pizzas that are pretty good. The one you want to get if you get it is Buddy's. Buddy's to me is the best one.
Little Caesars has an excellent. I think we've ordered it. I think I've forced us to order.
Let's get it tomorrow. Oh, we're out here tomorrow.
And it's like a deeper dish kind of thing, because Little Caesars is a Detroit chain. Is that correct, Wheels?
Well, yeah, of course it is. Yeah, Ann Arbor
okay.
specifically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
And,
Detroit and Domino's. Domino's and Little Caesars both.
Oh, fun.
An interesting moment this morning. So I get my stuff, my prescriptions from CVS, and I usually go to the one by the Esquire in kind of Richmond Heights. And I went there Monday to get my one of my prescriptions, and I've never seen a Schnucks like this, even on Christmas Eve. Every single space was taken. Every parking space was taken.
Wow.
And I'm like, what's a sale on floss? Like, what's going on? Well, it turns out Jordan Walker was there signing autographs.
Really?
So I didn't know that till I got in, and then I saw it, and I'm like, oh, okay. So today I went back to get my prescription, talking to the pharmacist, And, there's that awkward, like, you're waiting for stuff. And I'm trying to make small talk. And I go, yeah, I was here on Monday and couldn't get in because Jordan Walker was here. And she looked at me and she goes, I'm sorry, who's Jordan Walker? Yeah.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, he plays for the Cardinals. And she goes, oh, I've never heard of him. I know. And I was like,
wait, you worked there and you didn't know that
yeah.
you guys were having an event the day before?
Yeah, why did you think produce was shut down?
Yeah, she was totally clueless. She was just like, oh, I didn't even know that happened.
That's wild. Must have been off the day before.
Yeah. But it just like it reminds you, like, oh, yeah, not everyone knows what you know or is into what you're into. And
so obviously you tried to get her fired for that.
No, I got her fired.
Was it successful? Okay,
I got her fired.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I pretended she tried to sell me the prescription under the table. And I'm like, she just didn't know who Jordan Walker was. So we got Ricky coming up at 1:30, but Wheels, give me a reaction to last night. That'll do. That'll do.
I mean, that's about as not great gets when the one guy who's been your most reliable pitcher just gets absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
And you never see that from Michael McGreevy, but it just shows you that, one of the things, and I was texting about this with, I can't remember who, it was either Bernie and Matt or, the KMOX sports dudes, whatever. But it was talking about how, like, there just aren't many guys on the Cardinals pitching staff, on the rotation specifically, that have much room for error. So
that's a great point.
Like, McGreevy is really good as long as he's kind of on his game. And you see when he's just off a little bit, it's very hittable. You're not going to get a lot of, soft contact. Now, he's been, I mean, it's not, I don't want to be critical of him because he's been so good.
Yeah.
And he's been consistent.
He had a bad game.
Yeah, everybody does it. La Russa used to say he kicked it. Yeah, he kicked one. I mean, that happens, and it's not wrong. But it does kind of point out that the only guy on the staff in the rotation who can kind of get away with it if he's not really at his best with his command is Dustin May. But even he doesn't get away with it, most of the time when it's bad. But the bigger thing is just because to me the McGreevy thing's a one-off. It's not that big a deal. He just stunk. I mean,
agreed.
Brains beat in. The offense just stinks, and it's been stinking now for quite a while. And I don't think there's any question at this point what's going to happen. They're not buying. I wouldn't say there's no chance of adding someone that could be on the major league roster, but it would be part of the longer term picture as opposed to like short term fix this now so we can make a run. I think the idea of making a run via the trade deadline is done. It doesn't mean the team can't keep trying to win games. They will come out of this. This is just a bad slump. They will be better than this at some point. It's just going to be, is it too little too late? But in the meantime, you'll see them move off a couple of guys, probably 2 or 3 guys.
We can talk with Ricky a little bit about this in a few minutes. And you don't have to get into the weeds on this, but in general, had we done better, what would buying have looked like?
Probably just adding relievers. I mean, again, nothing
huge.
Nothing that would have been costing you any of your best prospects.
We're not going out for school bowl or anything.
No, and it wouldn't be. If it were rental, it would be like low-cost rental, kind of middle reliever just to add depth. I mean, I didn't think they were going to do a big thing anyway.
Yeah.
And now if you're 8 or 9 games over 500 like they were 6-7 weeks ago, you might go, all right, maybe it's worth a little bit more of a push. But at this stage, you don't want to give up anything. You want to be adding for the long term. You don't want to be playing for the short term now.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to do it. Especially not considering when the way that you entered the season. This season was all about, the second stage, if you will, of a rebuild. It's not like
we forgot that pretty quick, didn't we?
No, because they played well, and look, they could play well again the rest of the way, and get past the deadline and still stay in the wild card race. Like it doesn't mean that you're done. It just means that given the state of your team, it doesn't make sense to chase rentals, and it doesn't make sense to give up long-term, high-end young players to get somebody that's more established. It just doesn't make any sense to do that at this stage.
Yeah.
And I know that stinks to hear, but when you consider what your expectations were coming into the year and where you are, I think you've had a good year already. I mean, you have 2 offensive star players. You didn't have any before this year because you didn't know what Jordan Walker was going to be. We didn't know for sure what Weatherholt was going to be.
You know what else? I've always said, like, I figured out that I didn't want to be a lawyer. And that was great information to have.
Yeah.
I figured out what I didn't want.
Yeah.
I figured out I didn't want to be with a bunch of people. We all do that, right? And they're like, oh, it's good information. This isn't going to work. Maybe something else will. We figured out some of our players aren't going to be some of our players.
Probably, yeah.
Right?
By the time you're back to being what you want to be, which is a regular contender, there are a good bunch of these guys that are here now that are not going to be here anymore.
Yeah.
And that's part of what this season was. It's what last season was too. It's kind of separating the guys that are going to be keepers from the guys that may be fringier, and then you know what you need to target as you move forward, whether that is in your own system, right? Because you've got a lot of pitching coming. All of a sudden now between Double and AAA, you've got half a dozen or more starting pitching candidates that are pretty interesting. High-end stuff, better like upside, top-end skills than what you have at the major league level now. You've got good catching, and they might get creative with that. I keep hearing that teams are calling them about a catcher. Mm-hmm. Pedro Page's name's coming up a lot for teams that want a backup catcher. Mm-hmm. There are some teams asking about Ivan Herrera, it sounds like. Yeah. That doesn't mean the Cardinals are going to or want to move him, but other teams are going to ask.
How comfortable would you be with a season of Crooks as our main catcher and one of the young guys as our backup?
Well, I mean, in the way I look at it is I think Bernal and Crooks are pretty much equal, maybe slight edge to Bernal overall. So if you said, like, next year your catchers are Bernal and Crooks, I'd be fine with that. Nothing at all wrong with that. They're both good throwers. They're both good defensive catchers. I mean, Crooks has not gotten enough run, in my opinion, since he's been here. But Bernal is... They both have power, so you're looking at, if you play the two of them, you're probably looking at 20, 25 home runs combined between the two of them.
How comfortable are you if we just swapped Newt for Baez?
Oh, next year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah, they're different. They're different dudes. Newt is going to be more consistent. He's going to be on base more often, but Baez is going to hit twice as many home runs. So you're trading some on base skill and some consistency for real power and maybe some streakiness, but the upside's bigger with Baez.
Yeah. We'll talk to Ricky a little bit more about this at 1:30. We have a really packed show today. Davide, who brings in our Artist of the Month, has a really great one today. Really looking forward to meeting Sheila. Janelle's going to be here after that at 2:17. Wiggins is here at 3 p.m. Matt Pauly will join us at 4 p.m. Tell you guys about Lombardo Homes. I usually do this with Rach, and she does the heavy lifting. I was the very first talent that Lombardo Homes reached out to, 18 years or so ago. And I've been with them the entire time, and I'm good friends with all the people there, and I just think the world of them. And, in a lot of these situations, I get to see behind the scenes. Like, when I become real friends with clients, I'll be at the office sometimes. I remember being there once when a customer had a complaint. This is probably 15 years ago. And it sounded like a pretty BS complaint, but they're very, very aggressive about it. And Mike Van Pammel, the president, is just like, let's make them happy. Let's make them happy. Just whatever we need to do, let's make them happy. And that's just the way they do their business. Building a house, buying a house in general is a big endeavor. Building one is even bigger because, you have to design it. You have to wait for it to be built, the whole thing. Things are going to go sideways, little things. You always want a company that's going to call the little ones against themselves, like the Bobby Jones rule, and that's what Lombardo does. We have dozens of established communities that we would love to show you spec homes and homes that are for sale right now. We can build on your own lot. You want a horse farm out on Double D, we can make that happen. For all things Lombardo, go to lombardohomes.com.
This year, America celebrates 250 years. 2.5 centuries of courage, sacrifice, and family stories passed down from one generation to the next. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger, founders of Legacy Box. Your family's piece of the American story is sitting in an attic or closet right now, trapped on aging VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, film reels, and fading photos.
Those boxes hold moments you can never recreate. Your wedding day, your children's voices when they were little, grandparents coming back to life on screen.
Over 2 million families have trusted Legacy Box. And we've just partnered with the USO to digitize fragile handwritten letters from World War II, helping preserve American history for future generations.
As America turns 250, remember that your family is a part of the American story. Preserving those voices, faces, and moments is a part of your responsibility to the next generation. Don't let them disappear on your watch.
Visit legacybox.com/radio for our amazing America 250 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to save.
This summer, local events are happening all over the place, and i3 Broadband is a big part of it. At i3, we love being part of the neighborhood and are proud to support the events that make our communities great. We're also proud to deliver 100% fiber-to-home internet, recognized as Greater St. Louis's next-door neighborhood fave. We give you lightning-fast speeds and reliable performance. Head over to i3broadband.com/radio today or call 866-806-5485 to upgrade, because life runs better on fiber, and i3 Broadband is here for you.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. This was only a test.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Can you believe politicians nearly doubled state spending since 2019? Yeah, that's twice the rate of inflation.
What do we get for all that extra spending? Nothing.
Yeah, and get this, over 200 loopholes are buried in our tax code, written by lobbyists for wealthy corporations.
Our tax code is rigged against us.
We get taxed on our paycheck, our home, everything we buy.
I guess somebody's got to pay for all that spending.
That's why we need Amendment 5. It puts politicians on a leash.
Forces them to cut taxes and control spending, whether they like it or not.
Amendment 5 closes the loopholes, eliminates income taxes, cuts property taxes, and gives $3,000 a year to average working families.
We decide, not the politicians.
Amendment 5 is the biggest tax cut in Missouri history.
I'm voting yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC, Mark Ellinger, Treasurer.
A century strong. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS. Happy Wednesday. Jacob commenting on my DGS shirt. Yeah, this is an OG. This is DGS 4. Was this 4,000 shows? Do you remember what this one was?
That was DGS 4K, which was when we went out to
4,000 shows.
This was DGS 4, which I want to say was like maybe 2016.
What would that have been? Oh, it was
the Wildie?
Yeah. It was the fourth live show we did.
Yeah, it was the fourth live show we did. I'm just trying to remember where exactly that was.
I think it was Wildie.
I think
it sounds right. Yeah. And then Vic looking for an update on my ear. That's always weird. People know things.
Yeah.
No change. I still got the thing, cyst, whatever it is, behind my left ear. Taking some steroids, mostly for my arms. No, so I'm gonna give it the weekend and then go see one of my docs, see what I have to do. Weird. It's weird how things just pop up in your body.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't notice it, and then the next morning it was there. But it's behind my ear, so it could have been.
You just not noticed, yeah.
Especially like when you have something big, like like cancer or heart disease or something like that. Like it's like one day like you have no idea that it's happening, and then the next day you're like, my arm feels funny, and then you go to the doctor and they tell you it's skin cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for that to be such a bummer.
No,
that's like kind of a bummer.
It's a real part of life.
It's just interesting how it's
going to happen to thousands of people today.
Yeah, it's like you don't know about it, and then like just suddenly you know about it, and that's all you can think about.
And then your life changes, and that's what everything is focused on.
Yeah.
Wheels, what'd you make of the Tony Romo DUI?
I mean, it just seems like you're pretty much run-of-the-mill DUI, doesn't it? I mean, like, you look at it.
Looks like every other celebrity DUI I've ever seen.
I mean, he's, his eyes are pretty red and glassy, and he couldn't do some of the things. He had all kinds of excuses. Like, well, what, you think I'm drunk because I'm coming from a golf course? Well, no, it's probably because how you're driving and how you're talking.
You're drunk 'cause you
probably
can't
more than
walk.
that. Yeah.
This is going to sound really stupid, but you'll get what I'm saying. Drunk people don't realize how drunk they look.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure Tony Romo didn't feel that drunk,
Right.
but when you're watching him on video, you're like, oh, you're pretty in the bag, buddy.
Yep. Not a great. I don't get why people of that stature make that mistake.
It has to be hubris. It's not money.
Yeah, I mean, just like if your habit is, hey, I'm going to go play around to golf with my buddies, or maybe it's a charity thing. I'm going to have a few beers and have a good time. Just get a ride.
Yeah. Even if it's just Uber.
Yeah.
I mean, you can afford a driver everywhere you go.
Sure.
But the rest of us, mere mortals, can just call up an Uber.
I'm not condoning it for someone that doesn't have money. It's still a stupid thing. Don't do it. But there's even less of an excuse when you're wealthy.
Yeah.
Like just take an Uber back and forth, buddy. You can order a luxury Uber if it's got to be nice, or get one of your friends to drive you. It's not that complicated.
Speaking of drinking, a new federal study is out, and for the first time ever in our country, more people are using cannabis on a daily basis than alcohol or tobacco. There were 21 million people last year who reported using cannabis every day or close to every day, 20 million using alcohol, and 19 million smoking cigarettes. So that's a pretty big flip.
Yeah. Well, that does explain part of why there was all this resistance all these years to legalizing.
Yeah.
Because you know who's behind some of those resistance.
Hell yeah.
It's alcohol and tobacco, because they're like, hey, if people can do that, they're going to do less of us.
Tell you guys about Mosby Building Arts, and, just put it in your back pocket. The chances that I'm going to hit one of you, I mean, there are a lot of you out there, so it'll hit someone like this, but most of you are not talking about remodeling a room right now and just waiting for, someone to drop a name in your lap like I am right now. But when it happens, or if, coworker or your cousin Eddie, whatever, brings up doing some remodeling, let them know about Mosby Building Arts. And here's the thing about Mosby. We are the best. We're not the cheapest, but it's the kind of thing that, let's analogize it to buying a car. If you're going to go to, lot A and they say, yep, car's $60,000. And you go to lot B and they say, oh, it's 52. But then by the time you walk out of there, it's 62. You're not getting a better deal. Mosby doesn't nickel and dime you. They're great at estimating. They're going to give you a great bid. They're going to stand behind it. Right now, they're having a freebie sale. So if you do a basement this month, you're going to get the flooring for free. If you do a deck, you're going to get the lighting for free. If you don't want those things, we'll give you 5% off that project. We can remodel any room in the house. We're also great at outdoor spaces. People couldn't be nicer, more professional. 314-909-1800. Call Mosby.com.
We don't just cover St. Louis. We share it. That's why the stories you hear every morning aren't just headlines. They're about your neighborhood.
Ferguson's police chief took the stand in day one of
your roads.
Westbound 270 North County just had some volume on
your Cardinals.
Riley O'Brien strikes out the side in the 9th inning.
Your community.
I'm Tom Ackerman.
This is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
Total Information AM. Weekdays on KMOX.
I'm Bill Eigel. I'm a no on data centers. Last year, when a new hyperscale data center was up for a vote in St. Charles City, I'm the only candidate for county executive who stood with you in opposition. Meanwhile, Steve Ellman was writing op-eds in support of data centers. In fact, he spent $400,000 of your taxpayer money to identify 6 locations just for data centers in St. Charles County. I'm Bill Eigel, and if you don't want data centers in our county, then I'm asking for your vote on August 4th.
Paid for by Eigel from Missouri. Lisa Borchers, Treasurer.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is brought to you by McKelvey Homes.
I think we could call this delightful for the middle of summer and the end of July. Sunny skies, no complaints about humidity levels or the temperature. 88 for the high. Tonight, clear skies and nice, beautiful full moon out there all night long. 68 for the low. Thursday, sunny and great, 88 degrees. Little more unsettled Friday and Saturday with a changeable sky. Mixed clouds and sunshine. Friday and Saturday will bring scattered showers and thunderstorms. 85 degrees. That should start to ease a little bit on Sunday, but there is no big heat in sight. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
McKelvey Homes is breaking ground on something new in O'Fallon, Strawberry Farms. When McKelvey builds something, they do it right. Visit McKelveyHomes.com to schedule a tour at Strawberry Farms in O'Fallon. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today and move up to McKelvey.
There's an old joke about Uncle Sam's new tax short form. The first line says, "How much did you make?" The next line says, "Send it in." Really, not that funny, but that's what a lot of people do in retirement. They take money out of their 401k or IRA and end up sending it in when they pay taxes. Steve All of the All Financial Group invites you to take their tax challenge. What if your current plan included thousands of dollars in unnecessary taxes and fees? Or maybe higher Medicare premiums or a lower Social Security check? What if the savings you realized could allow you to retire early? Wouldn't you want to know about that right now? Take the All Financial Group Tax Challenge and find out. There's no charge. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
There's a saying, it takes a group of good men to build a barn, and only one to tear it down. Well, a few Jeff City politicians are at it again, tearing things down with Amendment 5 and Amendment 4. No on 5 and 4. 5 takes our money with higher sales taxes, higher taxes on gas, guns, and groceries, a sales tax hike on rent and diesel, seed, and feed. 4 takes away our constitutional right to vote and go around the establishment politicians and to stop higher taxes. Takes away our safety valve, a vote of the people to stop or reverse a dumb idea like the everything tax. I'm a no. A heck no. No. No on Amendment 5. No on Amendment 4. No on both 4 and 5. Paid for by no on the everything tax.
Today,
The Cards, the Cubs,
Ameren Total Access 550. First pitch 6:45.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. 2 days in a row, we get to talk to our pal Ricky Horton. Hello, Rick.
Yeah, how lucky are you, right?
Yeah, well, I wish we had something more fun to talk about, but
no kidding. By the way, talking about you today at Whitmore with our good friend Brian Main, and he talking about us golfing together. So we need to do that.
Oh, I would love that. I love me some Brian. He's one of the greatest human beings.
Isn't he?
Fantastic.
Well, you know, and that kind of conversation helps you get through when things about baseball aren't going so well.
That's right.
Honestly, and that's true of players, I think, too, is, you know, you get to a point where, oh, my goodness, I'm thinking about losing and losing and losing. It's like, well, life is, you know, I still have family that loves me, and I still have a nice life and a good job and all that stuff. So it really, perspective becomes important.
And I don't want to just be like Jolly Rancher here, but this has been, this, regardless of the finish, to me, my humble opinion, has been a good season because it had a purpose. And you guys have forgotten more than I'll ever know, but it seems to me as a guy in the bleachers that we learned who's a keeper, and we locked one of them down, and we learned who's not a keeper, and that's good information too. And luckily, we have a great crop in AAA and AA and out of the draft, and I really do think the future looks bright.
Dave, I think you nailed it. I think you said that perfectly with what you just said. By the way, I hate Jolly Ranchers, so you can get into a debate about whether people like those or not. I cannot stand them, but I do. But that aside, I think what you said is right. I think you've learned about guys. You've learned both pros and con about guys, and I think that's kind of the fact-finding mission that we're in. Now, you always want to kind of keep making good moves. I think the next few days is still important so that the moves you make are in line with that, and at times job, and that's his sandbox, and I think he's been great so far, and now he's got another challenge ahead, and he'll have more challenges ahead. But I think the point is, make this team better for next year, the year after, and I still want to see this team kind of remember how good they were a month ago or 2 months ago, and say let's kind of tap into that a little bit and see if we can finish better than what we're doing right now.
Yeah, and for that, really, I don't think that the bullpen is. It's been a problem, but I'm not sure that that's the highest upside there. I get, a few more strikes from Riley O'Brien, assuming he's not one of the guys moved, would be, if he does that, he's probably back to where he was early in the season. But it's the offense right now that you're just looking at. Like, we got to. I'm having a hard time, Ricky, trying to figure out what's going on with Mason Wynn, because it's the third straight year his offense has gotten worse, and he doesn't generate much bat speed, which is weird to me for someone who can throw like he can. The old saying, right? If you can rotate to throw, you should be able to rotate to create some bat speed, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy because I think the ceiling is crazy with him. Like, he's already the best shortstop in the league, in my opinion, defensively.
100%.
The ceiling seems like he should be able to hit, but it's just not coming.
Yeah, well, and hitting is such an interesting thing to study, because you think, how do you measure somebody's ability to get the bat on a baseball? Alec Burleson, you could look at him, you could look at his strength, you could look at his flexibility, you could look at all the physical attributes, you could look at all. But the point is, the dude can flat out hit.
Yeah.
His hand-eye coordination is extraordinary. It's like, I feel like sometimes it's like we're looking at a player and saying, what kind of dart thrower would you be? Well, dart throwers can come in all shapes and sizes and do all kinds of, but the point is, it's all about their fine motor skills, their hand-eye coordination. Right. Burley's got it times 100, and other guys are, struggle to find the batting stance that gets them in the best place to do that. And so it's, arm strength is good and agility is good, but hitting is a very unique thing to do. And again, I think there's several guys in our organization, and Mason would be one of them, and Victor Scott would be another, that I just think, the remake of, how do I develop a swing that's not sell out to power, and it's a shorter swing, and it's just basically put the ball in play and take off. I feel like some guys have to do that. They just do.
Yeah, and that really is Mason's profile right now. He doesn't chase, which is really good. He's got some good characteristics.
Yeah.
He doesn't chase a lot. He draws his walks. He's not a big swing and miss guy. It's just that not enough hard contact. And to your point, it doesn't have to be power, like home run power.
No,
we're just talking about hitting the ball harder or a little more regularly, so that some of those balls that are caught or some of those balls that don't get through the infield get through.
Yeah, and Mason knows himself better than I do, and I'm not going to pretend to be a hitting coach or pretend to be Brant Brown too. But I think the idea is, the bail and whale swing and then kind of bail out and hit the ball the other way. That's not what we're wanting the most. He's getting hits the other way by doing that. He bails out, hits the ball the other way. Nootbaar does that.
Yeah,
bails out, sometimes gets it, but that's different than what Alex Bregman did the last couple of days for the Cubs. He's got a short swing, and he hit the ball out the other way. I have no idea how he hit the ball out the other day or hit the ball in the gap. He's got a short swing, but he just kind of goes, again, back the ball quickly, and the contact is hard enough that it does some damage.
Yeah, to your point, a lot of the hitting. It's a similar thing, hitting and pitching, to me, at least in terms of this I don't even know, trait, I guess is the right way to put it. Some guys just have a feel. They just have a natural feel for being able to repeat their delivery and throw strikes, or to be able to just find barrels, and other guys have to work harder at that.
So it has been Kevin, it's been so long since I've pitched, I can barely remember it. But what I do remember is when I would look at a guy, and we'd watch batting practice of the other team, which of course people don't do now. They watch film. But I'd watch batting practice, and I'd see a guy, and I'd say, long swing, I got him. He's got a long swing. Right. I can get him. I know what to do with a guy with long swing, and we can probably get him in, and certainly get him with a changeup. And so, that's kind of the reality. The shorter the swing, I hated those guys. I hated the guys that had the short quicks. Kirby Puckett he might bat the ball as fast as anybody that I ever pitched to. And there's no way in the world, if I pitched to him 20 times, I'd get him out twice. I just couldn't because his bat speed was so good, and he had a short stroke, and he was on everything.
Rick, once we get past the trade deadline next Monday, who are you excited to see the Cardinals bring up the rest of the season?
Well, I'm most excited to see. I think others might say Baez, who I think is a possibility. I think there's still issues with that as it relates to, the timing of that. It's not just the trading deadline, but it's the 45 days before you can be considered a rookie next year, which has some benefit if you let a prospect go to April 14th. Let's just say we're talking about April 15th instead of April 1st. Or 3rd or 4th, but I think Baez is one. But Quinn Matthews is still a guy I want to see. Can he progress to being a strike thrower in the big leagues? Because if he can, I think the Cardinals need a Quinn Matthews to step up, and I feel like he's the guy I'm most excited to see. I think he's the guy we need the most.
Yeah, I would argue too, Ricky, that he's probably the guy on a timeline that you want to get to see sooner rather than later, because he turns 26 in October. He's not one of those 21, 22-year-old guys. I mean, we want to start getting this moving to see, because he's got swing and miss stuff. He's not a 100-mile-an-hour guy, but he gets swings and misses. No. And I think, to your point, he gets them in the minor leagues. Will he get those? Will he get as much chase against more seasoned hitters? That's what we want to see.
So one of the things that happens, and Blaze Jordan would be a great example, and I think there are others. Michael McGrady would be an example of, we spend so much time when the guys in the minor league talking about what they can't do that we forget when they get to the big leagues. You get some value in what they can do.
Right,
and everybody can't do something. Even you two guys, there's something you can't do. I don't know what it is, but there's probably something you can't do.
I can't reach things that are really high.
I can't quit being sexy.
I don't have enough time to tell you things I can't. I can't make a putt today because I was terrible. But the fact is, we spend so much time on that we're not thinking about what the value that they can bring.
Right.
And I think that shows itself once you get to the big leagues.
Yeah, good point. Really good point. It's a fascinating time. I know it's tough for players. We've talked about this, I think, every year the last few years, Ricky, about the challenge for players to not get caught up in the trade deadline stuff. Because, look, these guys know something's coming. You don't know what, you don't know how much. But you can even hear it in some of their comments last night. Mason Wynn talked a little bit about it. McGreevy did. It's there. And even the guys that probably know they're not going anywhere, you still know something's changing.
So here's the value of having a veteran team, which the Cardinals do not. The reminder that has to be ever present of, we are a we and we are an us. We are not a me. And when the trading deadline comes around, what your agent's telling you, well, maybe you can and you can and you can, and you get kind of me focused. You can't help it. But to think, well, maybe I have a different place to go. Maybe I'm going to be living in a different city, playing for a different manager and different fan base, loving me or hating me. And so you can get disconnected around this time. And I think it's a real challenge for players and for coaches and for the manager to keep guys kind of saying, look, we're still a we, despite what is going on around us in terms of, trade possibilities, et cetera. You still have to be thinking about us.
Rick, apropos of nothing we're talking about, but I'm just curious, when you retired the next year, did you have any regrets? Were you like, oh, I could still do this, I can still throw, or were you like, this is where I need to be, this is good?
I tried, Dave. I threw a fork ball. I threw under. I went to Colorado Springs and I tried one more year. I went to Puerto Rico, dragged my family to Puerto Rico to play in a winter ball, and I was 33 or whatever I was, and our kids were young, and just like, no, I got to keep trying this. And I actually pitched pretty well in winter ball. Came back. I tried throwing submarine. I tried throwing a fork ball. I tried everything but throwing right-handed, and so I kind of exhausted every possibility. The bottom line is, physically, when I had my surgery, I lost kind of finish on my pitches. Like, my elbow just is crooked, so I can't kind of finish pitches. So I lost it. I just couldn't do what I used to be able to do in terms of pronation. And so that hurt my sinker, hurt my changeup, everything. So it's like, but it wasn't for lack of effort. So when I was done, I was ready to update my resume and move on.
Yeah. And you did it very well. So it worked out fine.
Well, I'm trying.
All right, buddy. Have a better game tonight.
Yeah, we'll try.
All right, pal. Talk to you soon. Let me tell you guys about Michael's Baths. Mike is probably the easiest client I have in my stable right now, and I give full credit. And he hasn't complained, about me name dropping the competition, but I do give credit to Bath Fitter and 3 Day Kitchen and Bath, because they really plowed the ground for Mike and others like him nationally, doing all the advertising. And before that, we thought, oh, if you want to do a bathroom remodel, you probably need to get a general contractor and XYZ. And they taught us, no, there are companies out there that will just do a bathroom and do it, for you in a couple of days. And Mike's been doing construction for 30 years. 10 years ago, he switched to just bathrooms. Good timing. So he competes with these guys every single day. He knows their business model. He knows their products. He knows their people. And he just has to beat them, and he does. He has better products, all made in the USA. He has better people, in our opinion, who Mike has recruited and trained to do it the Michael's Baths kind of way. He does all of this locally better for 30 to 50% less than the national companies because I'm his only advertiser. And these guys have to kick upstairs like the mafia, for the national advertising. So same, better job for less money. If you're a disabled veteran, you can get this bathroom remodel for no money out of your pocket because of a VA benefit. Mike can walk you through that. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
St. Louis, are you ready to rock? AC/DC is bringing the Power Up Tour to the Dome at America Center Tuesday, September 8th. Hear legendary hits like Back in Black, Thunderstruck, and Highway to Hell, performed live by one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Don't wait on tickets. They're still available at Ticketmaster.com. AC/DC, the Power Up Tour, Tuesday, September 8th. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Bill, you're an old politician.
Yup, sure am.
So you know the old-timers warned that someone trying to sell you a pig in a poke was a con man.
Well, sure.
Well, no offense, Tom, but your politician's Amendment 5 is a pig in a poke, allowing politicians to raise our taxes without a vote of the people. And the politician's Amendment 4 takes away our power to do anything about it. Well, let's look at what's really inside Ford 5.
Oh, don't do that.
5 hits hardest seniors and those struggling financially with new taxes on services like doctor visits, in-home care, and rent. Sales taxes could more than triple. For up to 80% of Missourians, it's a tax hike. And Amendment 4 ends majority rule, effectively ending our power to stop corrupt and out-of-control politicians.
Slick plan, huh?
No, Tom. 4 and 5 are schemes that hurt citizens and transfer our power and our money to politicians and lobbyists. That's why I'm voting no on the politicians' Amendments 4 and 5. Paid for by Missourians for Fair Government.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. A few minutes shy of 2 p.m. Rachel's out rest of the week. She will be back on Monday. Be nice to have her back, have the whole team together. We're probably not on tomorrow. We'll be, hanging around just in case the game goes really short. But we're probably off tomorrow. Day game at 1:15, back on Friday. Gen Z's at it again.
Uh-oh.
Yes, they want to tell the rest of us that what we're missing out at work is that you have to enjoy micro joys. at work. And if you're wondering what a micro joy is at work that Gen Z does that we have never considered, they say stuff like this. Step outside for fresh air. Have a chat with coworkers. Enjoy a snack or a favorite beverage.
The Christopher Columbus generation.
Basically everything that everyone's ever done.
Think they discovered everything.
Even in the coal mines in the early 1900s.
I know.
You could sneak a micro joy.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
We've been doing this. You've only been alive for a few years.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Not great. Not great. I don't get the idea. Like you're the generation that has had the most access to information of any generation at your age. And you basically don't know that anything existed before you. Like, ooh, it's called quiet quitting. No, that just means you don't like your job, and that's what people have been doing forever. They slack. It's called slacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called I don't know if they even know what I do here, so I'll just goof around and maybe I'll get fired.
Right. Coffee slushies are going viral. You freeze coffee in a Ziploc bag, smash the frozen coffee into chunks, add milk. So it's like iced coffee, but also like a milkshake.
All right.
Yeah, I bet if you like coffee, that is really good.
I mean, I guess, it's kind of like what we used to do with Kool-Aid, right? You'd put Kool-Aid into a little ice cubey thing, and you'd put like a little toothpick in there, and then you could just have your own little popsicles you made at home.
Do you do much coffee anymore, Dave?
Every day.
In the morning? Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 in the morning. I have 3 on the weekends because I have OCD. I'm afraid to do it in the afternoon, which is probably silly because I'll do a Red Bull, which probably has more caffeine, but
it's comparable. And I mean, I don't anytime like, any big caffeine, and I mean, I do it every day pretty much too, but any big caffeine like after 4 or 5 o'clock is definitely.
I'm sure the caffeine in my coffee in the morning has an effect on me, but it's way more for me the experience. Yeah. Like if I can't have coffee on a given morning, usually because I'm like getting a blood test or something, it makes me sad.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah.
That coffee is less about like, I can't live without it, and more like the habit and the enjoyment of, it centers you sitting down and sipping your warm coffee or whatever.
Viagra, when dissolved in water, can make cut flowers stay erect for up to a week longer than they usually would.
Well, sounds like it's the way it's designed, right?
Yeah. Works on flowers, too. How about that? Very interesting.
Good for the flowers.
Good for the flowers. Speaking of, Oscar Mayer is celebrating the 90th anniversary of the Wienermobile this weekend with Wiener cakes.
Oh, no.
They're milk bar cakes with hot dogs around the side, and they'll be available this weekend.
Okay. I think that sounds like a nope.
You don't want a Wiener cake?
Nope.
Just the connotations?
No, just
I'll try it.
Doesn't sound good.
I'll try anything once.
Only 4% of Americans say that they often got detention in school.
Were you guys detentioners?
No. I think I've told you guys this. At my high school, you didn't get detention. You got work detail. You were placed basically on the janitorial staff. You were doing something. You were raking leaves, fixing a fence, cleaning bathrooms. That's what your staying after school was.
I know it's not.
That's smart.
But it feels illegal.
Well, it's private. It's private
prison.
It's a private
forced labor.
It feels like prison.
Well, it's a private school, so your parents signed you up for it. You don't have any choice.
Okay.
I don't think I ever had detention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't a goody two shoes. I was just afraid of authority. I was performatively rebellious, and yet I was the first guy to go like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Let me get back to my seat.
I think that based on that poll, you decided that's probably the vast majority of people.
Yeah.
There's not that many that were like, I don't care about detention. Nobody wants to get stuck after school.
Yeah.
Top 5 bands that have been together the longest with never breaking up or taking a hiatus. AC/DC, number 5, 1973. Cheap Trick, 1973. ZZ Top, 1969. Scorpions, 1965.
All right.
And the Rolling Stones have been together continuously since 1962.
That's the crazy part.
That's crazy.
Like
the continuous.
I mean, they haven't changed the lineup. How are they all alive?
I know.
I mean, I saw the Rolling Stones in 1988. It was the Steel Wheels tour, and I thought they were done. Like, now, granted, I was a high school kid, so like to me, they were probably in their 40s at the time. They seemed ancient, but like Keith Richards didn't even move. It's almost like they had a stand behind him, just propping him up, and it looked like he was just old and dying then, and he's still going, and they all are.
Yeah.
Good for them,
It's
man.
pretty amazing. Tell you about my friend John Moriarty at E3 Wealth. If you would like some financial advice, John's your guy. Even if you're just a lowly W-2 employee like me, but if you own a business or you're an entrepreneur, then you are fortunate because this is exactly what John does. It's exactly what John loves and has a passion for, and if I can say so, he's quite good at. Several business owners from the DGS have reached out to John, had meetings with him, liked the cut of his jib. They're using him now, and it really is whatever you want to do. And it could be that you're in sort of a functional freeze, that like, well, revenues haven't gone up in the last couple of years, and we're looking at this and we're looking at that. Get a set of fresh eyeballs that are very smart eyeballs to take a look at your situation, go up to that next level, maybe pass your business down to your kids, maybe sell it on the open market, anything you need done. Have a cup of coffee, have a pancake with John Moriarty, see what you think. Simply go to e3wealth.com.
Breaking news. Missouri will vote on Amendment 4 this August. Right now, a ballot measure passes in Missouri if it gets a majority of votes statewide. Amendment 4 would permanently end that. If Amendment 4 passes, it would rewrite the Missouri Constitution. So instead of using the total statewide vote to decide if something is approved, a measure would need to win a majority of votes separately in each of Missouri's 8 congressional districts in order to pass. So one district could veto the will of most Missourians. That means with Amendment 4, just 5% of voters could overrule what the majority of Missouri citizens want. Opponents of Amendment 4 say it undermines the sacred principle of one person, one vote, and takes away the people's power, giving it to politicians and special interests instead. Protect Majority Rule. Vote no on Amendment 4. Paid for by Protect Majority Rule Missouri. Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, nope, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. The $5,000 sweepstakes is back with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. Since 1926, celebrating 100 years, the genuine, the original overhead door. That's where winners go.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
At 2 o'clock downtown at the Arch, we've got sunshine. It's 85 degrees. St. Louis police giving an update on the attempted ambush of officers. Let's go live to Sean Malone, who just spoke with those in the department. What is the latest, Sean?
Yeah, Michael, so last night at about 9 p.m. at Thekla Avenue in North City, multiple SLMPD officers, along with other bystanders involved with a traffic stop, came under fire by an unknown individual or individuals. They were driving a Ford Fusion. That Ford Fusion then sped away. Officers pursued the vehicle before the suspects exited the vehicle and were able to successfully flee on foot. Now, the vehicle is in custody, the Ford Fusion. SLMPD say they are seeking to find out who the owner of it is, and just in this hour, we're able to obtain a search warrant to search inside the vehicle. They also don't know what involvement the vehicle that was pulled over with the traffic stop has with the Ford Fusion that opened fire on officers, but because of the quick turnaround time between when officers pulled the vehicle over and when the shots fired, only 3 minutes and 46 seconds elapsed between. Officers do believe that there might be some kind of connection between the vehicle that was pulled over and the shooters that they believe were ambushing St. Louis City police officers. We'll have more information coming up next hour. Live in the newsroom, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
From ABC News. The Federal Reserve left interest rates unchanged at 3.5 to 3.75%, in line with analysts' expectations. ABC's Elizabeth Schultze has details.
This was a very unusually divided decision by the Fed. 3 Fed officials voted to increase interest rates. They dissented with this decision. They instead wanted to see rates go up. It is very unusual for us to see that kind of division in the Fed when you're thinking about an interest rate hike like this.
President Trump is now pledging intense retaliation after Iran fired on U.S. assets in the region. Saudi Arabia and the U.S. retaliated by launching strikes on Iranian assets in Iraq. ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
This was a surprise attack overnight by Iran aimed at U.S. military forces in the region. The president now is vowing to retaliate. He told Fox News today, "We'll be hitting them hard." He said they're going to get a beating. He also used expletives to describe what he might do next.
Meanwhile, according to Defense Department documents reviewed by ABC News, traumatic brain injuries are the most common injuries that U.S. service members have received while engaged in the Iran war. Before leaving office, President Biden preemptively pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, but that has not stopped a Senate panel from questioning Fauci about the pandemic. Fauci invoked his Fifth Amendment right and is not answering questions, but Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri says Fauci has no rights under the Fifth.
The Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more. Brown versus Walker, 1896. When he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people.
Don't compare us to Florida, Texas, or Nevada, says Governor Mike Kehoe when looking at states that have no income tax. Those states make up for it with tourism dollars. Instead, he says Missouri's comparing itself to Tennessee.
That state is growing in population. People are leaving these other states that have high regulations, high tax burdens, et cetera, not good work environments, and they're coming to Midwest states. And Tennessee has proven that has drawn many people there.
But Tennessee's tourism revenue is still more than 50% higher than Missouri's. One of Kehoe's major priorities is passage of Amendment 5, which would eliminate the income tax and replace it with higher and expanded sales taxes. The governor was a guest with KMOX's Chris and Amy. The Dow from Stifel down 578 points to 52,168.
It's a beautiful afternoon in the neighborhood, sunny skies, no complaints about the temperature or the humidity for the end of July in St. Louis. 88 for the high. Tonight, check out the full moon of July. Clear skies and nice. Dropping through the 80s this evening, 68 for the overnight low. Enjoy. Thursday, do it again. Sunny and great, 88 degrees again. Thursday night, partly cloudy, 69. Now, Friday and Saturday, a couple of little impulses of energy will be dropping down in the northwest flow. So we've got changeable skies Friday and Saturday. We'll call it a mix of clouds and sunshine, but also expect scattered showers and thunderstorms around both days. 85 degrees. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Huff Heating and AC. Right now we've got sun, 85 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
For dependable, no-pressure home comfort solutions, turn to Huff Heating and Air Conditioning. Locally owned and family operated for over 40 years. Our team will work with you on a plan that fits your home's needs with financing available. And as always, your family's comfort is our family's business. Learn more at huffheating.com.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS. Happy Wednesday to you. Gorgeous day out there. Going to get cooler and cooler until it's in the 70s over the weekend. And I don't want to burst your bubble, but next Friday's 98. So pretend I didn't say that. Every month we have Davide Weaver come in, and he brings our Artist of the Month. And they're always interesting, and I always enjoy talking to them, especially being a very bad artist myself, but I grew up in an artistic family, so it means a lot to me. And today we have Sheila Sudarwala, and I was doing some research on Sheila, and I told her when she came in, not to embarrass her right off the bat, but my Lord, the life you've had. I mean, for real, like, it's so interesting, and you've had so many accomplishments, and your heart really does seem to be in the right place. So good on you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're going to make me cry in the first 2 seconds.
I'm good at that. Yeah. No one leaves here without crying. No, congratulations. That's so wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Such a pure approach that it seems that you've taken to everything, and you've been rewarded with success all the way through.
It's important to reflect on that.
Yeah.
Even when times get hard, I have to remind myself.
Yeah. So usually we just talk mostly about the art, and we will talk about the art, but your life story is so interesting. Go back as far as you want to go. Like I was reading about you being born of Indian descent and being Zoroastrian, and I studied Zoroastrianism a little bit, and also Christian Science. It's like, what an interesting upbringing.
I feel very blessed for the way I grew up and the family I grew up in. And I think that's definitely why I've done certain things that I have in my life. Social work, for one. For decades, I worked with kids in foster care and older kiddos and adoption. And it was really important to me because I realized how incredibly blessed I had been with my parents, who gave nothing but unconditional love and support and guidance, and that not everyone is afforded that.
Yeah,
that gift.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always been very important to try, even in a little itty bitty bit, to pass that on to other people. It's really important for me to. I want people to feel seen and respected and valued in my presence.
Yeah. That's about all you can do, right? It really is. And
it's beautiful.
Yeah, we're talking about that at the essence, every religion just wants you to be a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, it just really does come down to the golden rule. And then you can have the trappings of, whatever you want to do, a guy in a big hat, whatever you like. But if you just have the guy in the big hat and you're not treating people with kindness, you don't have much.
Right. Exactly.
Right. It's always going to be a guy in a big hat.
Yeah, I would say that'd be a shallow version of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about your eyesight and how this has affected your life and what you do.
Sure. I like to look at it as another blessing. I was actually in boarding school, and I woke up one day and I was in excruciating pain and was having trouble seeing. And I was sent home and for medical care, and we went from doctor to doctor, specialist to specialist. And finally, it was a young doctor in an emergency room in Toronto, Canada, who says, I think this is going to sound outrageous because you're so young, but I think you have glaucoma. at a very advanced stage. Wow. And so glaucoma, cataracts, all the other wonderful things that goes along with it. And many doctors, many specialists told my parents, just withdraw her from school. She's not going to be able to graduate. She won't go on to college, of course, and she'll be dependent upon you because she's going to lose her sight. And my parents chose not to believe that. And luckily enough, also, I went to Principia boarding school in Town and Country, Missouri, and had amazing professors. One, Mr. Evans, he was my history professor, and he said, no, you're going to continue to do your schoolwork till you get back here. He faxed me, see, I just aged myself. He faxed homework every day, as the other professors did, and I would fax my homework back, went back to school. And now at that time, I had been preparing for an art show, a juried art competition, and I was working on a very, very detailed black and white piece. But with the eyesight, it was a little difficult to see black and white. So I decided to just scrap that and start a new piece of very, very bright colors, very inspired by Mark Rothko. That ended up actually placing in the art show. And again, I couldn't have done anything without that encouragement, without that belief, that cheerleaders, if you will, from my parents, from my teachers. And it has been a very, very difficult road. I've had so many procedures, I've lost count, right? Double digits. But I said in the beginning, I look at it as a blessing because it has taught me resiliency. It's taught me to adapt. And I think those are life lessons I use with the population I work with now.
Yeah. Yeah, thank God for Mr. Evans.
Yeah.
And all the Mr. Evans out there,
Yeah,
right?
applaud all the great teachers out there.
Yeah. So it would have been so easy, to, especially in that day and age, to go,
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, just like now, thankfully, there's been a lot of advances. So hopefully other people don't have to go through what I did.
Did your eyesight steadily decline? Did it get any better for the procedures you've had?
I technically don't see out of the left eye.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean,
What a sentence. Which is fine.
Just fine.
What are you going to do?
A lot of folks think that in America, majority of disabilities are required over a lifespan. And so a lot of folks think it doesn't affect them and won't affect them. But the reality is, at some point in your life, you very well might be faced with this. And that's why I think it's so important to support, whether it affects you now or not, whether you have a loved one, say with Down syndrome or PTSD or multiple sclerosis. It's important that we support efforts, right? Because it very well, your reality might be that.
Yeah.
In the future.
You never know.
You never know.
No.
You never know. But the number one thing I try to do with the artists at Artists First, which is the nonprofit I'm executive director of, is we do not place limitations on our artists. We're very strengths based. We don't look at deficits. We build on strengths because everyone has strengths. And people with disabilities, they're the experts. They have had to learn how to adapt in a world that's not made for them.
Yeah. How did, was your eyesight a major contributor to the art you ended up doing? Did you have to run around your backhand, or did you just plow through and do what you would have done anyway?
I don't know what I would have done anyways. I know what I enjoy and do, and that's abstract, very big pieces, usually abstract. and creative self-expression. It's helping make, as one of my artists says, artist first helps him make sense of the world he lives in. And that's art, period. I think for me, it of course it helps. It helps you process emotions, thoughts, feelings, questions.
Yeah. And there's so many people out there. We all have our language, right? Mine's always been comedy. Everything, and my kids are the same way. We speak the same language. Everything goes through this filter of comedy. Even tragedy goes through my filter. And there are artists out there who don't even know they're artists yet, and they don't know why they think the way they do or why they feel the way they do. And then when you meet other artists, you go, oh, you're like me.
You're
and
speaking my language.
It's so important. Yeah. Who is Artists First for?
Everyone. We are inclusive. We are open to everyone. We do have evidence-based programs for specific populations using creative self-expression. So as I said, individuals with disabilities. That could be mental health, cognitive, physical, temporary, long-term. We have programs for kids and programs for veterans, specifically veterans who are transitioning, reintegrating into civilian life.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That is very important. Thank you for everything you're doing for the community, too.
How are you supported financially? Can people out there help out?
Absolutely. Running a nonprofit is not easy.
Yeah.
Period. But when you deal with people with disabilities, veterans, kids, and the arts, makes it even harder. Every single area has been cut funding-wise from fed, state, and local corporations, foundations. They've all changed. So they're asking you to do more with less. So we really are at a point where we rely on community donations. And that could be time, could be art supplies, and certainly we welcome financial donations. Just go to our website, artistfirststl.org.
Excellent. And we'll put that up on our social media. And come back again. And let's talk about this, and let's maybe do something together. Help you raise a little money.
We'd love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. You're lovely. It's great to meet you.
Thank you. And,
You're very
and
welcome.
So grateful to Art Fusion. I was just blown away when Davide called. I was like, what do you mean?
And again, congratulations. Well deserved to be the St. Louis Artist of the Month for July. And keep doing what you're doing. And why this program's important, because it supports artists as yourself that are doing great things in the community while supporting themselves as an artist. And we need to put the wind in your sails and keep you afloat and keep you doing what you're doing, because it impacts us all in St. Louis in a positive way.
Yeah. Well done. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
The radical left let crime and drugs pour into our nation, and they let biological men into girls' sports. But here in Missouri, if there's a problem, we fix it. That's why Ann Wagner's fixing the mess the radical left made and delivering for us. Wagner voted to ban biological men from competing in girls' sports, and she voted to fund the police and provide more resources for Border Patrol agents, keeping our families, communities, and children safe. And Ann Wagner didn't stop there. In Congress, Wagner passed the largest working class tax cut in American history, kept big government out of our business, protected our way of life, and ensured our communities remain safe. That's why Ann Wagner's endorsed by the Missouri Farm Bureau and Missouri Fraternal Order of Police. Vote Ann Wagner for Congress on August 4th.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
Sometimes historic events suck. But what shouldn't suck is learning about history. I do that through storytelling. History That Doesn't Suck is a chart-topping history-telling podcast, chronicling the epic story of America, decade by decade, from the 18th century to the 20th. Original music and immersive sound design accompany us on our storytelling journey. Listen to and follow History That Doesn't Suck, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Can you believe politicians nearly doubled state spending since 2019? Yeah, that's twice the rate of inflation.
What do we get for all that extra spending? Nothing.
Yeah, and get this, over 200 loopholes are buried in our tax code, written by lobbyists for wealthy corporations.
Our tax code is rigged against us.
We get taxed on our paycheck, our home, everything we buy.
I guess somebody's got to pay for all that spending.
That's why we need Amendment 5. It puts politicians on a leash.
Forces them to cut taxes and control spending, whether they like it or not.
Amendment 5 closes the loopholes, eliminates income taxes, cuts property taxes, and gives $3,000 a year to average working families.
We decide, not the politicians.
Amendment 5 is the biggest tax cut in Missouri history.
I'm voting yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC. Mark Ellinger, Treasurer.
Welcome to Willie's Wings, home of the secret sauce.
I'll take a dozen wings. Oh, by the way, I love that sauce. What's in it?
Can't tell you.
Why not?
It's a secret.
While many financial advisors claim to have the secret sauce, they don't. In fact, if their sauce is so good, why are they keeping it a secret? Steve All of the All Financial Group doesn't keep anything a secret. He knows there's much more to retirement planning than stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. He'll develop a strategy designed specifically for you. It's your own secret sauce for retirement. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824 for your personal portfolio x-ray. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Fine, you want to know what's in the sauce?
Absolutely.
Tablespoon of paprika.
Really?
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
I'm Bill Eigel. I'm a no on data centers. Last year, when a new hyperscale data center was up for a vote in St. Charles City, I'm the only candidate for county executive who stood with you in opposition. Meanwhile, Steve Ellman was writing op-eds in support of data centers. In fact, he spent $400,000 of your taxpayer money to identify 6 locations just for data centers in St. Charles County. I'm Bill Eigel, and if you don't want data centers in our county, then I'm asking for your vote on August 4th.
Paid for by Eigel from Missouri. Lisa Borchers, Treasurer.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Hopefully you got to hear that interview with Sheila. Just an incredible person. We should replay that sometime. She's just so cool. Janelle is here day early, right? Because we're off tomorrow, right? Right. And Wiggins is going to be here at 3. I always feel like we need an update on the Odyssey. Like, who else has seen it? I'm seeing it next week with Nick.
Yeah.
At Ronnie's on some sort of a bigger screen. Is that where you saw it as well?
The IMAX screen is there, yeah. I didn't know that B&B Creve Coeur has the 4DX, where the sheet...
Tell me about that.
The seats shift, and they spray water at you, and...
Huh.
Yeah.
Is that attractive to you, or is it like...
I mean, I would do it, sure, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be my... I wouldn't go into it the first time seeing it like that. I would want to experience the movie because I would be afraid, like, what happens if I get like sick, like
Right.
seasick, or and then I'm not able to enjoy the movie, or if it takes me out and like it distracts me so much that I can't. But yeah, I would be intrigued in doing it. I think it's at over 700 million right now in 12 days. Yeah, we were just talking about it yesterday about it. I mean, even what do they say? Bad press or bad attention is still attention. And I think everybody knew it was going to do, at least my circle, we all knew that The Odyssey was going to do probably $1 billion. I think it's going to do even more than that thanks to Elon. I think people are doubling down and going to see it just because of him showing his butt.
You know why I feel really fortunate in this situation? It's not always the case, but in this situation with this movie that I'll see next week, I don't care. I don't care.
Nobody should.
I don't care about the cast. I don't care about how honest it is to the original manuscript.
It's
a movie.
It's a work of fiction. And the thing is, if you're upset about this, then tell me you were upset when they cast lions for Hamlet, when the Lion King did it. Or, I mean, like, I think Denzel Washington has played Othello, and we have had Christian Bale play Moses and Joel Edgerton playing Ramses. Like, it's let's calm
Irish
down.
Guy from Boston is Odysseus. He's playing a Greek king.
Yeah,
it's.
I'm sure Odysseus.
Take it easy.
It's an adaptation of a fictional story.
Yes.
So that's the end of it. They've been adapting fictional works of art since film has existed. So it's like I think he thought he the problem with Elon is Elon thinks social media is real life. And he thinks that if he has 250 million, he only said, look at how popular I am. Okay, bro, but that's not real life.
Yeah.
Like, people exist offline. So I think he thinks that if he says something, he's just going to have this massive impact and it's just going to tank and flop. And this doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad to see it doing good. We've got Spider-Man coming out this weekend. I think these two will kind of rule the summer. And I'm thrilled with that. But I kept waiting for him to tweet something stupid like, did you know MJ's played by a black girl? It's like, good. Yeah. Do Spider-Man some big bank, too, like on their behalf. Well,
we'll talk about Spider-Man on the other side of the break. When is Doomsday?
That's not until like December 18th.
Oh, okay. All right, quick break, right back. DGS.
Chris Ranchi and Amy Markscores connect you with the people, places, and conversations that bring our community together.
And now you get to hear about poo-poo in a box from a firefighter.
No, come on.
The hammerhead worm. And you get to hear about car fires.
And sinkholes.
I love our newsroom. I think they're doing a great job.
From neighborhood happenings to local heroes, from everyday challenges to unforgettable stories. Chris and Amy, weekdays from 9 to noon on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. So I like to represent simple companies. I like to do business with simple companies. There's no better version of that than Michael's Flooring. I wish there was a Michael's Flooring type business for every kind of business out there. Someone who is really good, very serious, has great products and services, but they are satisfied making a reasonable profit. Mike could make more money on every single transaction if he just pushed it a little harder. If he was willing to just kind of fudge the facts a little bit. If he was willing to kind of play the typical manipulation game with you. You come in, you have a $2,000 budget. He smells $2,800 and he ends up getting you for $2,500. That's the way things work. You know that. You're a grown up. You tell Mike you have a $2,000 budget. He's going to try to come in at $1,700 because he'll still make money. And he doesn't like just bilking people. And he knows that you're going to go out, tell your friends and family, maybe even go online that you had a great experience and it means more business. He's been doing it for 30 years that way, 24 of those years with me. 3 locations. To find the nearest one to you, go to michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is brought to you by i3 Broadband. Summer celebrations are here, and i3 Broadband keeps you connected. Head over to i3broadband.com/radio today or call 1-866-806-5485 to upgrade today, because life runs better on fiber, and i3 Broadband is here for you.
I think we could call this delightful for the middle of summer and the end of July. Sunny skies, no complaints about humidity levels or the temperature. 88 for the high. Tonight, clear skies and nice, beautiful full moon out there all night long. 68 for the low. Thursday, sunny and great, 88 degrees. Little more unsettled Friday and Saturday with a changeable sky. Mixed clouds and sunshine. Friday and Saturday will bring scattered showers and thunderstorms. 85 degrees. That should start to ease a little bit on Sunday, but there is no big heat in sight. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
When Donald Trump needs conservative votes to help pass his agenda for Missouri, Representative Trisha Burns never answers the call. Trisha Burns has missed 370 votes. Burns is bucking President Trump's priorities. Burns did not vote to stop DEI initiatives, prevent China from owning Missouri land, defund Planned Parenthood, and Burns did not vote to ban boys from girls' sports. Trisha Burns not showing up for Missouri and President Trump. Instead, Trisha Burns spends her time pulling pranks on the suicide prevention hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Trisha Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Trisha Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job.
Let's Go Brandon PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Chris Foss, Treasurer.
All right, guys, if you're looking for a kick in the pants when it comes to like your fitness goals, things along those lines, I got a recommendation for you. Burn Balance Complex. You can pick it up at supplement superstores. It is an all-natural like metabolism boosting system, right? It's not just a fat burner. It's way more than that. And it's also like the latest. It's the newest thing. That's one thing that's great about supplement superstores. They're always looking for the upgrade, right? The new thing, the thing that's gotten a little bit better. That's what Burn Balance Complex is. It's the best one out there. So if you're someone that doesn't want to get a prescription, you don't want to do injections, that's just not for you, then Burn Balance Complex can get you a lot of those same things. When you start with the metabolism boost, like most people walk around below optimal levels. Like we just don't operate at our peak all of the time. You know, our cars don't either if we don't take care of them. Think of it like an oil change. Think of it like maintenance, where Burn Balance Complex can get the metabolism firing, which means you start to get results. And that's what you notice because you stay on for a little bit. Getting positive feedback is a great way to stay on a plan, whether that's a workout plan, an eating plan, or both. And Burn Balance Complex is a great assistant when it comes to getting you there. On top of that, you'll notice kind of reduced stress with lower cortisol levels. That can come with better sleep too, appetite and craving control, which is a really key part of all of this. And then all-day focused energy. No jitters, no crash like with energy drinks. It really is a solid way to get yourself moving. So if you have questions, get out to Supplement Superstores. They will answer them for you. Just remember to drop my name when you're out there. Remember to say Kevin Wheeler sent me in, or I heard Kevin Wheeler talking about on KMOX, because that will knock 30% off your price right then and there. So that's where you pick up your Burn Balance Complex, and all you need to do is go to supplementsuperstores.com to find your location.
Today, the Cards, the Cubs.
Ameren Total Access 550. First pitch 6:45.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Wiggins is going to be here at 3 p.m. That's always fun. Matt Pauley will join us at 4. Lots to talk about with the Cardinals, with the trade deadline coming up next Monday. Janelle is here. So you saw Spider-Man.
I did.
Before we get into the movie, you just kind of blew me away because my Spider-Man is the 70s cartoon Spider-Man.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
That's where I kind of stopped.
Sure.
And I can't believe I wasn't a comic book kid more than I was. I have all the makings for it, but I just
You
wasn't.
really do.
Yeah, I really do.
You left me out there just dangling.
Well, I was thinking about this I can't believe I am not the OG gamer because I was a nerd.
Sure.
I was a dork.
Sure.
I remember when Pong came out.
Okay.
I played Pong in Eddie O'Neill's bedroom. Then I had Intellivision.
Yeah.
And then
That was the first one in color.
I think what it was is I was too much of a geek. Like when the arcade opened at the bowling alley, I was too afraid to go in there. Like just the social commitments.
So you thought the geeks were actually cooler than what we were.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah, I was bowling.
I don't think that's ever happened in my life.
I was bowling with a ball with my name on it in 7th grade by myself and walked by this arcade with all the popular kids and I just ran out the door. I'm like, well, I'll never play those games. It's clearly above my pay grade. But I say all that to say that I didn't know Spider-Man was a tragic figure.
Yeah, he's so down and out in the comics. He's poor. He's for the most part miserable. He's always cracking jokes due to like his situation being lonely. He's like I said, we were talking about. He loses his job constantly because he's busy being Spider-Man. There's only MJ really kind of knows his identity. He lives with his. I mean, in the movies now you got Marissa Tomei, which she's not exactly the old aunt that he's living with in the comics, but he goes through terrible loss constantly. He is a tragic figure compared to, I mean, not like Tony Stark is an alcoholic in the comics, depending on what you want. Like Captain America just never changes. Other ones they do go through things, depending on whatever comic event you read. But yeah, he is a tragic figure. So when this trailer came out and it showed him so lonely and sad and miserable, people were like, finally, we get our miserable Spider-Man. Because he's always had Stark gear. He's had Tony funding him.
Yeah.
He's been a part of the Avengers. He's always had that. He's had his girlfriend and all that. And now this movie wipes away a lot. Now, that's not to say is you still see him with tech, obviously, but he's living in a very broken down apartment. He is very much alone because at the end of No Way Home, he has Doctor Strange wipe everybody's memory of him. So he's
in every part of the multiverse.
Yes, he is alone. He is very, very, very alone. And it shows that, yes, even though he has this working relationship with the police at this point in the story in his life, nobody knows who he is, but he's lost all of his friends and he's kind of watching outside, watch everybody. And so, yeah, it's very sad. He's very lonely. He is a tragic figure, which people were glad to see it because it's comic book accurate.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people who didn't know that were probably really surprised.
They're mad online. Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of people angry online. Like, why is Spider-Man sad?
And it's like, well, thank you. Well,
it's because he was in the books.
Yeah, like the reason us dorks exist is like grab one of us, adopt one of us. We'll teach you the ways, So it's like, yeah, even like Tom Holland was like, I was shocked about how many of my friends were telling me like, thank God we've got our miserable Spider. He's like, okay, didn't know you guys were wanting that so bad. But yeah, no,
interesting. And how's the movie overall?
I thought it was the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie yet. Now, some people that might not be a huge bar. Some people are just huge fans of the Tobey Maguire, and then nothing will ever eclipse that, which is fine. But yeah, I think the color on it was nice and bright. Some of these movies you've been seeing with these superheroes, it's been like this gray, washed out.
Notice that.
Yeah, so it's very bright, very vibrant. The cinematography in this is fantastic. Some of the shots are amazing. The scenes between him and the Punisher are fantastic. You can tell that those two actors have been around each other for the last 12 years. Like they've known each other for that long. Yeah, but I will say, just for anybody going in, there's no real great surprises. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen a bunch of the movie already. There's nothing that they're really hiding from you in the trailer. I know there's been rumors on like, oh, this is who this actor is playing. And yeah, you're right. I don't want to say her name here in case anybody doesn't know, but there's no surprises in it. There is a credit scene at the very, very end. I've yet to understand what it really means. You can tell that he has played this character for 10 years because he's really settled into him. Some of the best action scenes I've ever seen out of a Spider-Man movie. him being a professional ballet dancer in his past,
didn't know that.
you can really show that he has control over his movement and his body and how he just moves around on the screen. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, like, again, it's probably about 15, 20 minutes too long because it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But that's what you get with movies now. They're just, they're trying to keep you in there for as long as they can. I enjoy it.
What they're what are they doing?
I don't know. I just, who knows? I just don't know if they just don't know what to cut. I don't know if that's editing's fault or if it's the director not wanting to let go of anything.
'Cause this is just me, but sometimes it feels like some people in the movie industry think that it's not a real film if it's 90 minutes.
You're right. Well, yeah, unless it's a horror movie or a rom-com, I don't know if we'll get too much around the hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Everything action is always going to be closer to a 2.5 hour mark now. But yeah, I thought, like I said, I thought it was the best of his movies. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's better than the very first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire and William Dafoe as Green Goblin.
Oh, that was great.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it holds up. I think people will be pleasantly surprised when they go see it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I have a question about a movie.
Sure.
Pressure.
Okay.
With Brendan Fraser playing Ike, and he's my whole problem. I don't dislike Brendan. I've liked him in many things, but I remember seeing him in Gods and Monsters way back when, and I don't think he does well acting angry. And being Ike, I had the red ass, right? And so all the trailers I've seen, I can't get past. First of all, he doesn't look anything like Ike. He's like 3 times his size. And his scenes are like, oh my God, I can totally see you acting. Do you get lost in the movie besides that?
I will say that Andrew Scott makes up for it.
Okay.
And also, I'm blanking on the redhead guy's name who's in the movie. He was in Band of Brothers.
Yes.
And
My twin.
Yeah.
Damon Lewis.
That's who it is. Yeah. He's really good in it. I think if you let yourself get lost in just like the story and them, how they just came to that plan, I think it'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I felt the same way watching the trailers.
Did you?
That's just Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much of a personality we know that Eisenhower had. I don't know too much of like, we know the personality of a lot of other presidents, but I think him being a general and stuff, I think he's probably a little bit more, closed off than maybe he lets himself in that. But I don't know if I know enough about his personality to say he did a good or bad job. But I mean, it's since I don't know, now all I see is Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
But
Well, let's be honest, though. Like, even when he was a bigger star when he was young, he wasn't exactly an actor. Like, he was in The Mummy, where it's kind of funny and silly, but he's not really acting. And then he was in, George of the Jungle?
Yeah, and I think until you see him in The Whale, which is a really tough movie to watch.
I've been told not to watch it.
It's tough to watch,
It's
but
a
he's
bad movie.
Excellent. You didn't like it?
It's so stupid.
Oh, wow.
That movie sucked.
And I will say the end of it is like, it takes you out of it. But
as the person here closest to the whale, it's not a good movie.
Okay, so wait a minute. Why don't you like it then?
I was like, this isn't realistic at all.
It's a very sad movie.
It's stupid. The whole
sad.
thing is stupid. He is stupid. His nurse lady is stupid. His daughter is stupid. And then at the end, when he whoop, and he
dies,
fat jumps into heaven, it's
fat jumps into heaven.
First of all,
stupid.
You spoiled that for a lot of people.
I'm comfortable doing that. The movie's been out for 6 years and it sucks. If you haven't already watched The Whale, you were never gonna watch The Whale.
Well, I heard it's a really good movie.
I feel like watching The Whale tonight.
But people who know me well are like, don't watch The Whale.
It's a very difficult movie to watch because it's very sad and he's very self-sabotaging in the movie and it's very uncomfortable to watch him going through what he's going through.
Is it his best work as an actor?
No, The Mummy is.
Yeah, I would actually agree with Andrew in that.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, but that's because I enjoy The Mummy.
Yeah.
Again, it's I think the industry considers it his best acting movie, but Yeah, I mean, I'd rather watch The Mummy than I'd watch The Whale.
If they could combine those movies.
Yeah, I think that's called The Whale Fall here coming out in a few months.
Yeah. That is one movie I'm absolutely not ever going to watch under any
Which one is that?
The whale, the guy who gets swallowed by the whale.
Josh Brolin getting swallowed by a whale.
okay.
No, it's not Josh
That
Brolin
one too.
gets
Is it
swallowed by
Josh Brolin?
No, he's the dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's a scuba diver who gets swallowed by a whale.
Yeah.
And is like in
Seems
the
like the dumbest premise I've ever seen for a movie.
It's
Until it becomes awesome.
very well-loved book, as I understand it, that came out a couple of years ago. And it's just going to be a nightmare because it's going to be I'm a little claustrophobic. And
Yes.
it's just going to be claustrophobia of the movie because it's a guy moving through a
Did you ever
whale's
see
intestines.
13 Lives then? With the kids in the cave being taken out?
No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, no, that's a claustrophobic movie.
How are you not a critic?
Because I've never heard of the movie.
No. I'm just saying we need critics who just go, it's the stupidest movie with the stupidest
No, there's
people.
There's plenty of people like that.
Got enough of those?
The reason those are the people that go viral because it's like, okay, it wasn't that bad. Like, calm down.
Well, I don't want to be typecast here. There's lots of movies I like. In fact,
Just no
most
Christopher
movies-
Nolan ones.
Most movies I like, I think, are pretty good. I love The Odyssey.
I know. I was shocked to hear that.
But The Whale's a bad movie.
Brian M. says, don't forget about Encino Man.
Yeah, that was pretty easy.
I would much rather watch Encino Man
Yeah.
than The Whale.
The Whale.
Yeah.
Now I almost have to watch it.
I think I liked Encino Man more than I liked The Whale.
Oh, my God. Oof. Yikes. You said that out loud.
Yeah.
Encino Man,
At least that one's silly.
yeah, at least they're trying to have a good time.
Plus, it's got Pauly Shore.
There's nothing in The Whale that they're trying to have a good time. That's like saying Schindler's List didn't have enough laughs.
I think that it is borderline offensive to compare The Whale to Schindler's List.
I'm just saying both of them are very uncomfortable movies to sit through.
Both of them are hard to watch, yes.
Neither are comedies.
Yes, neither are comedies. It's just that one of them is a masterpiece and
Well,
one of
yeah.
them is The Whale.
Then there's The Whale.
Okay, on that note, we'll take a quick break. Be right back. DGS and KMOX.
The soundtrack of classic rock is coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater August 6th. Leonard Skinner and Foreigner joining forces for one epic night of legendary hits and unforgettable memories. It's the Double Trouble Double Vision Tour. From Sweet Home Alabama to Cold as Ice. Don't miss your chance to experience these two rock and roll Hall of Fame acts in one incredible show. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Think buying a home is out of reach? Think again. Scott Credit Union has down payment options as low as zero money down. Your new home could be closer than you think. Visit scu.org today. Equal housing lender, NMLS 415767. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
So do yourself a gigantic favor if you are even considering divorce, especially for those of you who are going through the analysis paralysis part, where you're just not sure, you're not happy, but you're this and you're that. And like I always say when I do my lives for Susan, talk to whoever you want. Talk to your best friend, your sibling, your pastor, your priest, your counselor, your therapist, and they're all going to give you advice. Some good, some bad. But before you make a final decision, you should really talk to Susan L. Ward or an equally really good divorce attorney. And there may be two that I would consider as good as Susan. And with Susan, all you do is you call, you let them know you're from the show. They'll make you an appointment, typically over the phone because she's very busy, going from court to court, and write down your top 5 or 10 questions. They can be about money. They can be about kids. They can be about anything. And she will give you direct answers. Like you say, look, I live in St. Charles County. That's going to help her. I live in Union. I live, wherever. And she'll be able to tell you with a great degree of accuracy what it's likely to look like, and that'll help you to make your decision. 314-783-9400, stlfamilylaw.com.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Bill, you're an old politician.
Yup, sure am.
So you know the old-timers warned that someone trying to sell you a pig in a poke was a con man.
Well, sure.
Well, no offense, Tom, but your Politicians Amendment 5 is a pig in a poke, helping politicians to raise our taxes without a vote of the people. And the Politicians Amendment 4 takes away our power to do anything about it. But let's look at what's really inside 4 and 5.
Oh, don't do that.
5 hits hardest seniors and those struggling financially with new taxes on services like doctor visits, in-home care, and rent. Sales taxes could more than triple. For up to 80% of Missourians, it's a tax hike. And Amendment 4 ends majority rule, effectively ending our power to stop corrupt and out-of-control politicians.
Slick plan, huh?
No, Tom. 4 and 5 are schemes that hurt citizens and transfer our power and our money to politicians and lobbyists. That's why I'm voting no on the Politicians Amendments 4 and 5, paid for by Missourians for Fair Government.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Janelle hanging out with us. Wiggins is going to join us at 3 p.m. Rachel will be back next Monday. Enjoy the game tomorrow. We may be on, like 4 o'clock or something like that, but we're hoping not. I'll be pretty drunk, so if I have to show up, I'll have to get an Uber. What do I want to talk about here? Oh, Kev, tell me about the flock cameras. I confess, I don't even know what a flock camera is.
Okay, so essentially, they are AI-run camera systems that are being installed all over the place, and police are able to access information from them. So, for example, it literally will record everything that happens within its view. So if you drive through in your car, it's recording your license plate. And it's going to also try to identify who is in the car using AI. And they're using this to find stolen cars. They're using this to find people who commit crimes. But they're gathering all of this stuff without a warrant. And then it's just sitting there. So anybody with access to this system can then say, well, I have questions about Dave Glover. Where was Dave Glover on this day? Well, let's track his car. And we'll put in his license plate number, and now we can find where he was on that given day, even though there's been no warrant, there's been no permission given for anybody to surveil you or to observe you. They don't have to even present probable cause. And it's got a lot of people going, why does this even exist? And why isn't somebody in Congress going, wait a minute, we got to follow the law here, guys. We can't just say, well, this is convenient because it's helping us track down stolen cars. Well, that's wonderful, but it can also be very much abused, and nothing should be gathering intelligence on U.S. citizens without a warrant. That shouldn't be happening at all, ever.
Wasn't there a case where there's like 83,000 of them were tapped into to find some woman who had gotten an abortion in Texas?
Well, that's the other problem is it can be used for things like that to see where you're going. So let's say you're in a state like that, and they're going to be like, oh, whoa. You left the state. We tracked your car going to another state, and then we tracked where you went in that state, and now you've committed a crime.
How would you feel about it if these cameras existed, but law enforcement couldn't access it without a warrant? So they're collecting all of it the way they collect all of our phone calls. It all goes to the Library of Congress, whatever.
We shouldn't be allowed to collect anything without warrants. Right, that's the simple version of the Constitution, right? We are not supposed to be constantly surveilled. Let me kind of reframe the way I'm putting this. If you're constantly being surveilled, not just because there's a private company's security camera out front, but because it is a government camera that is connected to not just law enforcement, but really any agency that's going to try to access it or pay to access it, because this is a private company that's selling this product. So that company has access to these things too. Do we trust the companies to have all of that information about people that they don't deserve? What are they going to do with it? Are they going to sell it to other companies? Yes, of course they are, because it's how they're going to make money. But the way I would kind of reframe this is, if you are constantly under surveillance by agencies in your government or private entities without your knowledge, is that actually free? Are you actually a free citizen? If everything you do is being tracked, even if you're not under suspicion for doing anything wrong?
So is the argument for it sort of like the Patriot Act? Like,
Yes.
well, if you don't have anything to hide, you're
Essentially, yeah. That's the argument for it. Like, well, I haven't done anything wrong. And again, I get that argument, but we still have to follow the law. And we still have a constitution that says we are not subject to being searched. We are not subject to being surveilled without a court saying, yes, you have enough evidence to begin doing this.
Yeah. Interesting. Let me tell you guys, a really important time to be talking about Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage because, look, don't trust me on anything. I know nothing about nothing, but when I read show prep, I see that the Fed, today's a really important day, and could be raising rates, and if not now, could be soon. And Stewie has this program. And of course, he has the bagel loan, called a bagel loan because a bagel looks like a zero. You pay zero fees. No one else does that in town. So you're going to pay fees with everyone else, every other mortgage person except Stewie. So that's a big help right there. But then he's also offering you that for every new 30-year mortgage that you take out, well, not for everyone because you're only going to do one, but everyone who does, you're going to get 1% less on your interest rate for the first 12 months. So let's say that you qualify for a 6. You're going to get a 5 for the first 12 months. And that is because Stewie and other people in the mortgage business think that the rates are likely to go down, after the midterms. No one's got a crystal ball. But if that happens, that can get you through to the next rate drop, and then you can just refinance that loan. So Stewie is a great dude, really, really cares about his customers and clients. I'm going to give you his cell phone. Don't prank him at 3 a.m, but you can call him anytime you want with any kind of question you have. 314-324-4440, 324-4440, NMLS 226715.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
There's a saying, it takes a group of good men to build a barn, and only one to tear it down. Well, a few Jeff City politicians are at it again, tearing things down with Amendment 5 and Amendment 4. No on 5 and 4. 5 takes our money with higher sales taxes, higher taxes on gas, guns, and groceries, a sales tax hike on rent and diesel, seed, and feed. 4 takes away our constitutional right to vote and go around the establishment politicians and to stop higher taxes. Takes away our safety valve, a vote of the people to stop or reverse a dumb idea like the everything tax. I'm a no. A heck no. No. No on Amendment 5. No on Amendment 4. No on both 4 and 5. Paid for by no on the everything tax.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Starbucks is hoping AI can help it replace software from Microsoft and IBM. Bloomberg reports that Starbucks is developing an AI-based alternative to Microsoft's inventory management system and IBM's maintenance management software. And that could potentially save the coffee chain around $400 million that it spends each year on software, with Starbucks planning to cut overall spending by $2 billion. I'm Jason Brooks.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 3 o'clock and it's a sunny sky downtown at the Arch. Right now, 86 degrees. The Federal Reserve left interest rates unchanged at 3.5 to 3.75%. While this was in line with analysts' expectations, there were 3 dissenters who preferred a quarter-point rate hike. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
Very little information in this statement. When you think about the outlook for the path ahead, it was virtually identical to the statement that the Fed released last month. They did still note that inflation remains elevated, and this is in large part to higher energy prices, that economic activity, they say, is expanding at a solid pace, but really no guidance in this about what the Fed will do in the months ahead.
Senators questioning Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases under President Trump during the pandemic. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley attempted to press Dr. Fauci on awards he received that included prize money for his work during the pandemic and whether he used federal employees on government time to apply for those awards. Fauci would not answer.
Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
You remember Greg Folkers? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Your chief of staff.
St. Louis City Police have provided an update after a believed ambush of their officers and ATF agents last night.
St. Louis City police officers alongside federal agents pulled over a man on Thekla and Oriole in Walnut Park East at around 9 p.m. 3 minutes and 46 seconds later, they found themselves under a burst of gunfire from a gray Ford Fusion. Officers then pursued the vehicle to the 1500 block of Sells Avenue, where the suspected shooters exited and fled the scene. Police spokesman Mitch McCoy says that the shooters remain at large while police continue to investigate who owns the Fusion. As for the individual who was pulled over, McCoy says they are unsure how or if he is involved.
After officers took on gunfire, that individual left the traffic stop. And so we are working on identifying that person to do interviews, because right now he would be considered a victim.
City police are asking witnesses or anyone with surveillance footage of the Ford Fusion to contact Crime Stoppers. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Will families suing Johnson & Johnson over baby powder cancer concerns sign off on a new settlement offer from the company? Johnson & Johnson has agreed to pay $5.5 billion to tie up remaining lawsuits that claim its talc products caused ovarian cancer.
Because even though $5.5 billion sounds like a lot of money, and it certainly is, when you divide that by tens of thousands of people, that number goes lower. And then when you take out the attorney's fees, that money goes lower even still.
KMOX legal analyst Brad Young says under the proposal, about 95% of roughly 76,000 plaintiffs would have to approve it. Eliminating the state income tax is the way to get Missouri growing, Governor Mike Kehoe says, stumping for passage of Amendment 5 on Tuesday. With KMOX's Chris and Amy, Kehoe was asked about Panera moving from St. Louis to Massachusetts in the Boston area, where there's an income tax and it's much higher than Missouri's now.
We were not made aware Panera was looking. If we were, we would have gotten to see if there was anything we can do. So it tells me, since they didn't really come to the state and ask for any options or opportunities, they had their mind made up to move to the east.
Kehoe admits cutting taxes is not a magic wand. He says you need a host of tools in your basket to grow the economy. FedEx is permanently closing 2 St. Louis area facilities this fall, cutting more than 140 local jobs. In more notices filed with the state, the company says its locations in Earth City and on South Hanley and Maplewood will shut down on September 28th. The move is part of corporate restructuring, affected workers being offered transfer options or severance, illustrating how tricky our city-county borders can be for outside companies trying to do business here. FedEx seemed to mistakenly address its official county notice for the Maplewood facility instead to St. Louis City Mayor Kara Spencer. Let's get you an update of the St. Louis Business Index now. We go to Stiefel downtown and Scott Bedell.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. Market participants entering today's trading expecting extreme volatility were not left disappointed. Higher oil prices, higher interest rates, and a neutral decision by the Federal Reserve Board pushed the Dow Jones Industrial Average down by 1,152 points, or 2.2%, to 51,594. The Standard & Poor's 500 also lower by 1.5% at 7,316, while NASDAQ dropped 1.75%, finishing at 24,442. Locally, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index took it on the chin, dropping 2.25% at 1,702. Looking at some stocks of local interest, Anheuser-Busch gained 2% at $84.87. Bear Corporation advanced 1.1% at $13.64. On the downside, Stifel Financial slipped 3.25% at $81.92. Bunge Global fell 8% to $107.78, while Peabody Energy dropped 10.5% to close at $20.82. For KMOX, this has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got some road work on 64 going across the Poplar Street Bridge westbound into Missouri. Also road work on 44 East at Lewis Road. That's in the left lane. And 70 West at Route A. That's in the right lane.
I think we could call this delightful for the middle of summer and the end of July. Sunny skies, no complaints about humidity levels or the temperature. 88 for the high. Tonight, clear skies and nice, beautiful full moon out there all night long. 68 for the low. Thursday, sunny and great, 88 degrees. A little more unsettled Friday and Saturday with a changeable sky. Mixed clouds and sunshine. Friday and Saturday will bring scattered showers and thunderstorms. 85 degrees. That should start to ease a little bit on Sunday, but there is no big heat in sight. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Weather is sponsored by Steve Butts and the entire Crawford Butts family as America celebrates its 250th anniversary. Steve Butts and everyone at Crawford Butts Insurance wish everyone a safe and joyful summer, proudly serving the community for generations. Happy 250th America. It's sunny and 86 degrees. Feels like 89 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Rach, I think, is coming back today. Has been out in D.C. I think she had a really great time. She'll be back in on Monday. Tomorrow is her birthday. So feel free to wish her a happy birthday online. Ryan Wiggins joins us. First time you met Janelle. I can't believe that.
Yeah, a little surprised. Am I on? Hello.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah. Okay, just making sure.
Not working.
My headphones must not be working.
First time you're going to be fired.
Hey, they took away my headphones? But I can still talk? This is a weird way to send a message.
Just slowly start taking all the technology.
Just little things. My computer mostly works, but I can't access Word. Yeah, you're gone.
I still do that. After 26 years, if the first time I use my parking card doesn't let me in, I'm like, well, here we go.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Like this is it.
Start somewhere.
Yeah. Fill up the box.
Now we have facial recognition to get in the garage.
We do?
I
didn't
think
know that.
so. I think so. Well, they've been implementing it for 6 months.
Yeah, it's been kind of sweet.
That's why I kind of don't believe it's true.
I think it's supposed to be your license plate.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? There was something that I saw somewhere. I'm like, oh, they're implementing that.
I'll wear a mask in the next week.
Yeah.
I never gave my license plate, and it's still.
Did we just turn our building over to Flock?
Yeah. Well, I'm such a loser. I still don't have license plates. I've been riding dirty for a few months now. And so our parking garage, it's free right now. Does not everyone know? Come on down. But soon it's going to take an image of your plate. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to be the guy that goes like, well, I don't have a license plate, so.
Put your face on your plate.
There you go.
And then it doesn't matter which they're reading. That must be Dave Glover's car. How do you know? You look at his license plate.
It's just his face.
Picture of his face.
It's just his
One of your
face.
DGS stickers.
Well, you know you can get those, right?
Plates?
You know,
I've tried.
I do have to say,
I've done my best.
Well, I would love for Andrew to scold you on this, can he?
I was just gonna
Andrew's
say,
like, I waited for like 7 years.
all I was gonna say is that you know that our boss Steve Moore is not going to be sympathetic to you.
No.
When you can't get into the garage on no plates day.
No.
He's
On
not
no
going to be
plates
sympathetic.
No. I know this. I know this.
He's not going to be cool about it in the way that you hope he is.
Yeah,
In the
don't.
way you want him to.
I've done too many rants on the DMV. I can't do another. But I will reiterate what I said last week, which is I would give up the International Space Station if we could just get things easier down here. Just let's focus here for a second.
Where's here?
On Earth.
Okay.
Wait,
Oh.
and you're just talking about the DMV, though?
No. Just like healthcare is always a bitch, and like trying to do anything
Yes.
with
Yeah.
the government
Sure.
is terrible.
Yes, yes.
Let's just work on that.
Yeah.
You know,
I
this
hate,
is.
I hate to break it to you, but that's just because a lot of those places make money off of it, and they don't want to stop making more money, which is why it's harder for us.
What do you mean? What people?
Well, I mean, just as an example, the health insurance, the whole health industry, the fact that that's a for-profit business is why it is the way that it is.
But we could fix it by getting rid of the space station.
No, we couldn't.
We don't need one thing to give it up.
We could fix greed.
Yes.
These guys already have billions, and they still won't stop.
Here, while we're ranting, so last Monday, and are you guys sure that you can hear me? Because I can't not hear me at all. But last Monday, my wife was traveling from like New Brunswick back to here. She went on vacation with her sister. She's traveling back. She had a layover in Toronto for 5 hours. In Toronto, they tell her, yeah, we just canceled your flight. And you're like, okay, this happens. What are you going to do about it? It's annoying. It's never pleasant. But they told her, man, it'll be 3-4 days, and then maybe we could get you on a flight to St. Louis. Like that, you're going to lose possibly a week of your life, and then do what? You're going to get paid for your hotels or what? I guess they kind of do, but it's all through reimbursement. So she had to fly to Chicago, then take a train down just to get home. These are things that I desperately want American society to fix. Stuff that is so healthcare is one of them, and it's part of the system. And I'm not even just like complaining about everything. I'm just saying when you go to use your health insurance, it is such a pain in the butt to just get them to pre-authorize and all this junk that just eats up your life that you just want it to go away.
Just so you know, everything you just said sounded like a deaf person. So I just wanted you to know that.
I thought maybe.
Okay.
Because it still sounds that way to me.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to fix it on the break.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so nobody's going to fix my problems? Is that what you guys are saying?
Yes.
I just said I'll show you on the break.
No, not this problem. I mean the bigger problem, not the stupid headphones.
Sorry.
Andrew's like, I'm trying to help
Yeah,
you.
right.
One problem at a time.
Then get my wife home.
She'd be home if we didn't have that damn International Space Station.
Right. Get rid of those people. Do whatever it takes to get rid of those people.
They're up there trying to see if clover grows in space, and meanwhile,
right,
I'm riding
stuck in
dirty.
Toronto.
Which is it's very funny because wasn't it just a few months ago you were amazed with the astronauts up in space?
Was I?
Yes.
I lose track of me.
Who can remember?
I really do.
Yeah.
You could tell me pretty much
Okay.
anything. I'd be like, that sounds like me.
I just want them out there because someday it could be hope that we can get off this stupid place.
That hope already exists. They already there.
Actually-
No, I mean like real. Like I'm getting out of here.
I think
I need a new neighborhood.
No, we would be better served. I think there's about like 10, 12 people you could round up and ship into space, and I think it'd be vastly
Yeah.
improved.
Yeah.
Why should we all leave and leave them here? Well,
Yeah, we should trick Bezos next time he takes a crew up.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, the brakes don't work.
It just doesn't stop.
Hey, Elon, you want to go see Mars? See you, buddy.
We lost Katy Perry permanently.
Come on.
Katy Perry's like, this is my second time.
You know what's genuinely funny about Dave is that from working with you, Dave, there will be times that you will get incredibly deeply interested and philosophical about something that you'd never expect. So like you were just saying that he did that with space recently. I remember you doing that with things like the show The $6 Million Man.
Oh yeah.
And just random stuff that you'd be genuine, and I would never want to like take that from you. So I would just listen.
Yeah.
And hear you just like pontificate on what would it really be like to build a robot person. And you would just like really go in on it.
I'm like this in real life. Like Trish Gazelle is one of my best friends in the world, and just recently we were talking, and I said, you know what? I've known you 25 years. I don't think you've ever asked me a question. And she said, because you've never stopped talking. She's like, there's never a space to ask you anything. You just keep talking.
I would not have said that about you.
You're letting yourself get taken here. That's a classic Trish deflection.
I was going to say, if I ask you tons of questions on breaks and you'll answer everything.
Yeah. That's a Trish deflection.
Oh, thank God.
You got crossed up on that one.
I'm so glad you're all here.
It happens to the best of us, but you got crossed up on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there'll be times that you just genuinely like, I wonder what Dave's thinking right now. We're on the air and nobody's talking. But that will happen, and it's funny because I know though that genuinely you are really deeply thinking about something.
Yeah.
And you got your whole notebook every day that you're like, oh, these are the thoughts of the day.
Yeah. I throw these away on purpose.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
You shouldn't.
Oh, God.
Why?
Because sometimes I'm writing other things, and like they just should never be found, you know?
They should never be
The kind of stuff that doesn't make the show. I probably shouldn't say that we should just blow the ISS out of the sky.
Yeah, this is not publishable information, but that's what you're getting at.
This would be one of those that if it was a time when you got in trouble, like, oh, see, we found the manifestos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking you to publish them. I was just saying, like, keep them for yourself.
Yeah, he had no online footprint at all, but he had 700 notebooks filled with the craziest thoughts.
You're making yourself sound like a serial killer. All right, you made a point.
Most of them are about Colonel Steve Austin.
Okay, valid point.
And there's the silence.
There it was.
And there it is.
I was waiting for it.
I forgot to ask
Okay,
you a
are you
question.
going to the game tomorrow?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah?
You know what? Our beloved Game Time app really screws people who go to the games by themselves.
How?
Like, for example, tomorrow, the seats I like to sit in are like $100 a piece. But if I buy two, they're only $60 a piece, which I guess makes some economic sense, but it screws me when I want to go by myself. So
It bothers me that that's called dynamic.
Yeah.
I mean, the
It's
Cardinals
like,
do that,
well.
Are you guys hip to surveillance pricing? Do you know about this?
No.
too. Yeah, I think.
We'll tell you about it when we come back.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll make you mad.
Breaking news. Missouri will vote on Amendment 4 this August. Right now, a ballot measure passes in Missouri if it gets a majority of votes statewide. Amendment 4 would permanently end that. If Amendment 4 passes, it would rewrite the Missouri Constitution. So instead of using the total statewide vote to decide if something is approved, a measure would need to win a majority of votes separately in each of Missouri's 8 congressional districts in order to pass. So one district could veto the will of most Missourians. That means with Amendment 4, just 5% of voters could overrule what the majority of Missouri citizens want. Opponents of Amendment 4 say it undermines the sacred principle of one person, one vote, and takes away the people's power, giving it to politicians and special interests instead. Protect majority rule. Vote no on Amendment 4. Paid for by Protect Majority Rule Missouri, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
When Donald Trump needs conservative votes to help pass his agenda for Missouri, Representative Trisha Burns never answers the call. Trisha Burns has missed 370 votes. Burns is bucking President Trump's priorities. Burns did not vote to stop DEI initiatives, prevent China from owning Missouri land, defund Planned Parenthood, and Burns did not vote to ban boys from girls' sports. Trisha Burns not showing up for Missouri and President Trump. Instead, Trisha Burns spends her time pulling pranks on the Suicide Prevention Hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Trisha Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Trisha Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job.
Let's Go Brandon PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Chris Foss, Treasurer.
Can you believe politicians nearly doubled state spending since 2019? Yeah, that's twice the rate of inflation.
What do we get for all that extra spending? Nothing.
Yeah, and get this, over 200 loopholes are buried in our tax code, written by lobbyists for wealthy corporations.
Our tax code is rigged against us.
We get taxed on our paycheck, our home, everything we buy.
I guess somebody's got to pay for all that spending.
That's why we need Amendment 5. It puts politicians on a leash.
Forces them to cut taxes and control spending, whether they like it or not.
Amendment 5 closes the loopholes, eliminates income taxes, cuts property taxes, and gives $3,000 a year to average.
Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC. Mark Ellinger, Treasurer.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS. Janelle's here. Wiggins is here. We're going to talk about surveillance pricing that I decided I didn't care at all. So we'll move on from that. Kev, you have had on the show sheet for a week now, life in 2026 is exactly like the worst pickup basketball game you've ever played in.
Yeah, so I don't know how much like the group here has played pickup basketball, but like the good pickup basketball is everybody's just there to have fun. Everybody is playing by some kind of rules, like nobody's calling a foul on every possession. Nobody shoots every time down. You pass the ball. You play basketball. The worst kind of pickup basketball, though, is like every guy wants to be the star. Everybody's just going to catch it and shoot it. They're never going to pass. They're never going to look. They're just going to knock people around, call fouls on everything, never enforce anything on themselves, always on other people. And it's just chaos and selfishness and nonsense, and it feels like that's life. Like there's just, we don't have, and the point really is too few team players.
Mm-hmm.
We got a bunch of individual chuckers who just want to throw basketballs at the rim all the day, and that's all they want to do. Like, I don't care if my team wins. I just want to score 10 points. I just want to score, and it feels like that's how we walk around day to day.
What do you think led to that? Or contributed to it?
Well, I mean, a million things, but I would start with the fact that everything has become political now. You got to pick a team. Everybody's convincing the other side is trying to end your way of life. So it's just a nonstop selfish competition because somebody's always trying to take something from you. Well, now you're going to go, I got to make sure I take care of myself and not worry about anything else. But we evolved as a species and basically took over the planet precisely because we work together.
Do you think
better than other species do?
Do you think we'd be as highly politicized if it wasn't for social media?
Well, we were before that.
As highly as we are now?
I mean, to me, the whole thing has got its genesis when news organizations realized that news is too boring and we're going to sell opinions and politics as if it's the only news in the world.
Yeah, but you didn't really too much know what your neighbor was thinking about politics at that point.
No, but that's where it started. To me, the roots of it are in the 80s and 90s. It might even have been, it's a weird connection, but it might even have been around the OJ chase, where people realized that nobody cares about real news, like actual stories and reporting and in-depth interviews and things. All they care about is the hook.
Well, now you've just given away the plot to Anchorman 2.
Because, I mean, in the before times that Dave and I always talk about, like, nobody ever talked about politics, but it was because it was never just nonstop covered all the time. It was in the newspaper. It would be on TV occasionally.
Yeah.
But, like, if you turned on, like, news was Tom Brokaw, Ted Koppel, and it wasn't just 24 hours, we have to create new content. And originally, the news networks like CNN were just basically an hour-long newscast, and it would repeat, and it would repeat, and it would update if there was something new, but it was just a newscast. And we changed that format completely because people hated it. It was boring. So how do we get people? We scare them and we piss them off, and we tell them that people are coming for their stuff.
Okay, so like the hero's arc and the arc to most people's lives, certainly the arc to mine, has been you start out, you make a bunch of mistakes, you learn your lessons, and you try to do better. Which makes me think that maybe what we've been going through pretty much through my career, because 2000 is about when we started with the siloed news and then social media.
And social
then
media definitely
that whole
enhanced
stuff.
it because you can live in a bubble now.
So I would like to think that this could be our, what's it called? I always call it Rumsfelder. When the Rumspringa.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we're doing right now. We're hitting the
Getting it all out of our
cities and we're
system.
going to prostitutes. And we're going like, I want to grow wheat. Like, but you guys, because I brought this up a few times, you guys seem to think that we're only going to get goofier, that we're not going to grow up.
I think it'll get worse before it gets better.
So we haven't had enough of the
No.
Rumspringa yet.
So when do we finally do that? Like when are the periods of time where we actually do go, you know what? We need to be a team right now. We need to work together. We need to not yell at each other. We need to be a team. When does that happen?
Tragedies.
Yes. And the only way it happens is with the biggest of tragedies. The last time we had it was 9/11. And it didn't even last.
See, now I think
it lasted less than a year.
I think tragedies, tragically, are more opportunities now for more division.
Well, that's the thing, is now they're exploited.
Yeah.
But that was in the past, that would be the thing that would get everybody going, okay, look, we got to stop fighting for a little bit.
Yeah.
We got to take care of ourselves. We need to look out for each other. We're going to make things better. And then it happened with 9/11, but how long did it last? I mean, by the end of that year, we were back into the same old, same old. At first, for a few months, it was like everybody's holding hands, everybody's working together. We're trying to fix this. We're going to catch the jerks that did this. And then it just goes away.
And they've monetized bad behavior now.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, very successful.
And that's the social media side, right? Because the only thing that gets you rewarded on social media is engagement.
Yeah.
It's not the quality of your content. It's not, and it's just how many people interact with what you do.
You guys hanging? You taking off?
Yeah.
Both?
Yeah.
Hanging and
I'm
taking
going to
off.
stand outside the door and watch you guys do the show.
This is why you're the best.
It's just so entertaining. I'm looking forward to it. Can you get to this so I can watch the show again?
Yes. I have so many jokes right now. To tell you guys about my friend Dr. Matt Bays, who my friend Kevin Wheeler needs to go see. And he's a sports medicine doctor. He's a former college athlete. Not that you have to be, but I think it helps. He knows what it's like to be injured. He knows what it's like to lay on a field and wonder if it's just twisted or is it torn. Rather than going to an ER, and of course, do what you want to do, wear what you dig. But if you or someone you care about is injured emergently, early and you're thinking about an ER visit, you can probably get in and seen just as quickly by calling Dr. Bays and saying, here's what happened. We just had this happen on the soccer field, just had a car accident. He can diagnose what it is. He can treat what it is. He can do it conventionally. He can do it through regenerative medicine, the stem cell injections. I watched him do about a dozen of those over the years. I'm going back in a couple of weeks. I'm going to see a few more procedures. It was fascinating talking to the people, telling me how it's the only thing that gave them relief. And it didn't look terrible. You know, like having your plasma pulled out doesn't sound like the most fun day, but they didn't wince at all. So, you know, you're all numbed up and such. So whether it's a fresh injury or something chronic, reach out to Doc Bays, 636-735-3003, BaysSportsMed.com.
The trade deadline is fast approaching, and Cardinals news could break at any moment. Will they buy? Will they sell? Every move shapes the future. Stay with KMOX Sports for breaking news, trade rumors, and expert analysis. KMOX is where you hear from the people making it.
There are things that pop up within a couple hours of the deadline that didn't seem to be at all possible.
On air, on X, at KMOX Sports, the voice of your Cardinals. KMOX. Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we got a couple of issues on westbound Highway 64 right now. First of all, leaving the city, it's just slow from about the Science Center headed out through Clayton Skinker, but it jams at 270. We have a crash. EMS just pulling up on the scene. They're blocking the two left lanes westbound 64 just before Maryville Center. So it's jammed from 270 out to that. And then you're still backed up Lake St. Louis Boulevard to 70. They just cleared a crash into the work zone. They are just past Prospect. If you're on westbound Highway 70, that's looking good coming out of downtown pretty much all the way out to Wentzville. South 270, 64 down toward Manchester, 44 toward Gravois, slow stuff. Southbound Tesson Ferry at Wells, we have a crash that's jammed back to Butler Hill, and you're still backed up 270 down to Schuessler, so a lot of traffic. Bumper to bumper, southbound Tesson Ferry, southbound 55 south of M, midway down to Z, you've got slow stuff there. Illinois traffic, eastbound 64 delays, 157 to 159, eastbound 5570 from Exchange past 203s on the brakes, and westbound 64 is slow across the Poplar. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Why pay full insurance when you can customize and save? Switch to Liberty Mutual and they'll customize your auto and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You know, I'm always talking about taking care of everybody else. The kids, the family, the job, the house, the calendar. But today, I want to talk about you taking care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, who's going to take care of them? What if you could better understand your risk for chronic disease before symptoms begin? Simon Cancer Center has a tool called Your Disease Risk, and it does just that. It helps you get a better understanding of your risk for chronic disease and cancer before symptoms even start. It looks at things like lifestyle, family history, everyday habits, nutrition, physical activity,
Just want to know when the fall forecast is. It'll be sometime, probably mid to late August.
It'll be when Dave says it is, Mitch.
Hang on. Mitch, you can't hear anything and you still ask the question?
Sure.
Sure, he doesn't care. Doesn't need to listen. Yeah. Maybe he's listening on the radio and just on the stream.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
It's chaos.
Joel says it's working now.
Do you want to do a couple headlines?
No.
I know it's your favorite.
No. I do have an update to yesterday's story.
Okay.
The AP.
Where are you, Andrew? I don't see Andrew.
I took myself off the screen because I couldn't figure out how to do the 5 people on the screen thing. It's setting I'm not familiar with, so no one needs to see me. So I talked yesterday about Colonel Sanders. He's selling his. Well, he's not selling it. He's been gone for a while. Someone is selling.
Yeah, don't bury the lead. The Colonel came back.
Someone is selling
He's
his
pissed.
house and a bunch of his crap. And remember, they're selling the black string tie that he was famous for wearing, the iconic tie, and the planner, which may have held the 11 herbs and spices.
You know that tie's stinky.
You know it smells crazy.
It smells like sweat and chicken.
Like squeezing it out.
Yeah.
Two things. Number one, it was a clip-on, which is very interesting.
It was what?
It was a clip-on.
Oh.
Clip-on tie, not a real tie.
Wow.
I wouldn't put very in front of interest.
I think that's very interesting.
What a fraud.
And we'll take Janelle off
But
the
he wasn't
stream
even a
too.
colonel.
I got banned.
Janelle's getting banned.
You have to leave.
And $8,000 somebody paid for that stinky clip-on tie.
Hey, I don't think that
8K.
sounds bad.
I thought that was a little low. For the planner, what's your guys' best guess? We'll do a little prices right here. What's your best guess for what someone paid for the planner?
So the tie went for $8,000.
Yep.
20.
$100.
$4.
I hate when he's not listening. He doesn't play. Shut up. Get out of here, Kevin. Dave Murray.
I like Janelle. I like the 100. I think that's worth something to somebody.
Dave, well, without going over, actually, Kevin gets it.
Yeah, well, jeez.
Thank you.
$4.
Somebody not playing to win here. $30,000 is what this sold for. Now,
I said 20. How does he get it with $4?
I just said 40.
No, he said
I
20.
said 20.
Okay, then Dave gets it. You lose.
I don't know why I'm acting like I'm actually going to win this thing.
Yeah, Dave's like, wait a minute. Dave's like, I want the planner.
Hold on a second.
See how much planners can go for?
Right.
He had a little bit of a trivia night reaction.
Now,
Yes.
KFC says that the 11 herbs and spices listed in the planner are not the elusive 11 herbs and spices.
That's exactly what
but are
Yeah.
in fact.
I heard one of them was dingleberries. So.
Stuffing recipe.
Are they in season?
With me, they always are.
I happen to think
that was just way too easy.
I happen to think that that's a mask job, right? That's a cloud. That's totally the right.
They're not
spices.
gonna.
Yeah, they have to go. Oh, it's stuffing. No, it's not. Come on, it's not. Unless he just used 11 herbs and spices for everything.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
why would
like-
he write down 11 herbs and spices and go, not those?
He had like OCD. Everything had to be 11. I had to have 11.
Where's
herbs
my
and
clip-on tie? I can't tie this damn thing.
I have to clip it on and off 11 times. My final story, hopefully forever. Fauci hearing marked by ejected lawyer and F-bomb.
Yeah.
So Dr. Fauci invoked his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination 106 times during Wednesday's Senate hearing on his handling of the COVID pandemic. And when one of his lawyers tried to speak, Rand Paul had the lawyer removed from the room. The Independent reports that David Schertler, the lawyer, tried to defend his client's use of the Fifth, but Paul cut him off, said he was being disruptive, and faulted him for sitting at the table with Fauci when he had been asked not to do so. Top Homeland Security Committee Democrat Senator Gary Peters said he wanted to hear from Schertler, but Paul said he's not recognized by this committee or the chair. You are not invited here for testimony. You are being disruptive. And then he ordered him to be taken out of the courtroom.
Yeah.
And then the other big moment, of course, is that Republican Senator Bernie Moreno of Ohio at one point directed an F-bomb at Fauci, explaining he chose to run for office after hearing the story of a woman who was arrested in 2020 for not wearing a mask at a middle school football game. He said, "Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the F do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country."
Yeah, I would like
So
to
it's gonna-
ask every one of them why they're still not doing anything about the Epstein files. To me, that's a much bigger story that involves much more real-time problems that are probably still going on and a bunch of real-ass criminals not paying any price for it. And this is one guy who screwed up, and I don't even know the extent of whatever it was, who screwed up something terrible. Why do you have to go through this, but you don't have that same energy for the Epstein files?
We'll find out in 6 years.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave. Thank Janice for us.
I will.
Tell you guys about Mark and Neil Gelman of the Gelman team and EXP Realty. It kind of isn't fair. I remember back, so I've been representing the guys for about 18 years. And then a few years ago, Nick was interested in real estate, got his license, spent a couple years with the Gelman team. So I really got a lot of the inside stuff, which was very helpful. And did not make me like them less, made me like them more to realize just how hard charging they were. But they have such amazing resources at their fingertips that other realtors just don't have. I'm sure, like I was talking about the NBC Nightly News. I remember when I first got to know Glenn Beck, and I was his fill-in guy, and he said, "How many writers do you have on your show?" And I'm like, "Me? Like, that's it?" It's just not fair the way the Gelman team has so many resources that other realtors don't. But why do you care? If you're only going to hire one realtor, hire the one with all the resources. It's going to get you a better deal, whether you're buying or selling a home. Right now, things are complicated. They just are. We're not sure what's going to happen with interest rates. The more expensive houses are moving faster in St. Louis for some reason. So given that it's kind of a tweener market, you need the best realtor you can get. For my money, it's the Gelmans. If you want to find out what they think your house is worth right now, you can do it without talking to anybody. Go to the front page of thegelmanteam.com, put in your address. We'll give you a number. If that number moves you positively or negatively, call the guys, 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we've got our jam on westbound 64 right now because of a crash that they just recently cleared. This traffic reports a service of Huff Heating and Air Conditioning. Westbound 64, Kings Highway out through Clayton Skinker slow, and then it bogs down again west of Lindbergh, jammed at 270 to Maryville Center. They just opened up the lanes at Maryville Center a couple of minutes ago, so that crash is cleared. But like I said, it's still a pretty good-sized jam. Westbound 64 after that is slow west of Lake St. Louis Boulevard 70. Southbound 270 bogs down through Olive, 64 down through Manchester, and a little busy both sides of 44. Southbound Tesson Ferry south of 270 all the way down to Wells is pretty much bumper to bumper the whole way through. Westbound 30, a much better option in the area. So South 55 for that matter. South 55 just slow approaching M, but it goes all the way down to Highway Z. Illinois drivers, westbound 64 3rd Street to the Poplars heavy. Eastbound 5570 from 203 midway into 111 slow, and 64 up the hill 157 to 159. You've got delays. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
For dependable, no-pressure home comfort solutions, turn to Huff Heating and Air Conditioning. Locally owned and family operated for over 40 years. Our team will work with you on a plan that fits your home's needs with financing available. And as always, your family's comfort is our family's business. Learn more at huffheating.com.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going a swing.
Ready to elevate your game? Join the MBA Sportscasters Forum on Tuesday, September 15th in St. Louis. Learn from Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and Hall of Famer John Rooney as they break down play-by-play, reporting, interviewing, and covering the game. Then cap off the day with the Cardinals versus Giants at Busch Stadium. Step into the booth, sharpen your skills. Go to KMOX.com/events for details and registration.
Guys, let me tell you about Game Day Men's Health and my own experience there. You can find out more and set up your appointment and everything by going to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. What they do is they help us solve problems, right? So problems that we don't necessarily have an easy solution to. So what I did not know, nor could I have fixed on my own, the fact that my testosterone numbers have gone down as I've gotten older. That's what happens. When you get older, those numbers tend to go down. And then you don't feel the same anymore, right? More fatigue, tougher to recover from workouts, a little bit more soreness in the legs. I used to describe it as heavy legs. That's gone. And it's been gone for a long time. I've been working with Game Day for about a year. I went in for an initial consultation, super fast, less than an hour. It included a blood test. And right then and there, we had a plan because you could see what was wrong and what could be fixed. And I feel different every day. Better every day. And I mean like 10 years, 15 years younger because my body is more like it was 10 or 15 years ago than it was 2 years ago. And all it took was the consultation, the blood test to see what would work for me. And that's the key here. It will be what works for you. It's not one size fits all. It's individualized, so my treatment won't be the same as yours, even if we're both doing TRT. And it may not be TRT for you. If you have ED problems, if you're looking at medical weight loss, if you want to look at their whole like suite of peptides that can do a lot of different things for you, they have great choices. Everything is done by medical professionals, and everything is done with a pretty good price because they got their own pharmacy and they do everything efficiently in that way. So if you don't feel the way you want to, go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com, set up an appointment. When you're in, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you. That'll knock $50 off your first purchase, and you can get back to the top of your game with Game Day Men's Health.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey,